Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, to Generations Behind. I am one of your hosts, Craig of Craig's Game Room. To the side
You
of me,
remember
the one with the luscious hair, Mr. Zach Daily Beating. Zach, how are you today?
Well, I was mid-yawn and then I burped and then you started the episode while I was doing that, so that was pretty good timing. But other than that, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Your hair is looking very fabulous. What made you decide to grow
dude,
it
it
out?
is.
I've been under the thumb of women who control me my whole life with my mother and my roommate. And I finally said enough's enough, and I'm going to grow my hair out as long as I want. That makes me happy because all my friends have long hair, so I gotta go for it.
One of us. I have not gotten my hair cut since my wedding, so it's been, almost two, I think it's been like a year and a half, almost 2 years since I've gotten a haircut. Tyler has them luscious locks for a long time, so
Yep.
looking like Thor down there. Below us, the luscious slut, Mr. Tyler Haight. Tyler, how are you?
Doing pretty good, you know. It's only 11:36 at night. Ready to talk for 3 hours. Go to almost 3 a.m.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, ready to quiz you guys on some trivia.
Oh no, I didn't study.
I didn't study. It's all good. Might get stumped on like one or two of them, but it's pretty good questions.
Have you had long hair your whole life, Tyler?
I used to be a straight like buzz cut guy up until 8th grade, and I said I had enough of this, Grandpa. And yeah, I just started growing
Was
it.
Grandpa holding you
Because
back?
no, not really. I was just trying to go for that like bit, but yeah, I had it like a little longer. Oh, I just had like my 9th grade ID. I would have shown that, but I don't know where it went. But yeah, like just kind of like Zach's. That's probably the longest I would go. And then 8th grade, I ended up just going buzz cut, and I was like, not doing this ever again. And then yeah, here we go.
Yeah, this is the longest my hair's ever been. All of high school I had long hair because I was a certified seenie weenie. I was one of those emo kids you see at the mall with the neon black shirts and the long straightened hair. So that's when I definitely looked my coolest. I peaked back then, exclusively listening to bands like Attack and I See Stars. If anyone out there knows those bands, shout out to you guys. You're real ones. But I don't know how long I'm going to let it go either. We'll see. I've always wanted to have long hair, but it's like now, that Vegas heat's starting to come, and I'm like, ooh, I'm definitely starting to feel it around 4 or 5 o'clock when it's starting to get into the 90s and 100s again. So we'll see if I'll be able to fight through it, or if one day I just say fuck it and I just shave my head off. Just the entire head, not even just my hair, just give up on everything. But today, talk about NES games, top 5 NES games. So by the end of this episode, we're going to have the definitive list of the greatest NES games of all time. You guys know how it goes.
I hope we have 15 different games again.
That was great for our PS2. Yes, our PS2 episode, we all had different games, so it wasn't really a list, but it was just a list of 15 PS2 games, not even like a top 15. So that was good.
I feel like we might have like at least 2 crossovers.
At least one like guaranteed. I know, so because I know all of us, but we'll see. And then next episode, gonna be playing the legendary Super Mario 64. Tyler's going to be playing it for the first time, which is pretty exciting. He's
not for the first time. I'm beating it for the first.
Yes, but you've talked a lot of shit as the show has gone on over the last year and some change for someone that's never beaten it. So curious to see what your opinion will be by the end of that. If you all want to go ahead and play along right into the show, please do. You could beat the game very quickly. I think it took me like under 7 hours to do like a 70-star run, so it's not a long game at all unless you're trying to 100% it, and that's mostly, a very frustrating experience, so I wouldn't suggest 120-starring Mario 64.
Perfect game.
Perfect game. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that, and I wanted to shout out, Zach has a new video. Zach, why don't you tell the people about your new video?
I finally put a game room tour up of just kind of talking to my cell phone in this room. Not going into super deep detail, but just kind of an overview of all the stuff I have. It was A lot of fun. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I actually a little uh, behind the scenes baseball here. Um, I recorded it in 4K 60 on my phone because I thought it would look real good, like upload it in 4K. I had like a 20-minute long chunk of 4K 60 footage, and my laptop could not like Premiere, like wouldn't process it, so it kept crashing.
Too powerful.
Um, so then I sent it. I actually sent it to Bird Dog over Google Drive, and I was like, "Can your computer process this?" And his couldn't either. So then what I had to do was process down that video in 2-minute chunks down to 1080p.
Oh my god.
And then take the 2-minute chunks of 1080p and then put that together.
What a pain.
So it was a total pain in the ass. It was a total pain in the ass, but we got it uploaded. So
And it was worth it because it was a great video. So make sure everyone goes ahead and checks that out. A little self-promotion. I made a short about the games I picked up. Pink Gorilla opened up a store in Las Vegas, which was cool. And I have another some more recordings. I went to another game store in town. And, you know, if you guys would be interested in that, I want to start making, like, little shorts every time I visit a game store. Plan on picking stuff up. I think that'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
So there's going to be another short soon, too, of some games I got. That short is going to get posted before this podcast goes up, but you guys will see the games that I got before the short goes up since we're recording right now, and I'm going to show them later in the video. So,
you're going to get spoiled.
You're going to get spoiled.
It's fun.
Spoiled!
But
it'll be a fun bit.
Mm.
You should just record every episode like, I'm trying to finish the Dreamcast set. I'm hunting for Dreamcast games. And then every single time, never actually show a Dreamcast game in the game store. Just like, say you're looking for them, but never actually find any. And just keep finding other stuff.
You just pan past them, you're like, oh yeah.
Like, yeah, it's really hard to find Dreamcast locally, guys. They're just never here in town.
Yeah.
The good old Dreamcast set. You know what? I was talking to Christian the other day, our good buddy Bird Dog, because he's almost done with his GameCube set. I've been thinking about that a lot too. I'm like, man, I miss my Dreamcast set. I need to start collecting the game for the Dreamcast more. I miss having that big wall of cube. It was a cool thing to have, even though over half the games are useless, but that's what set collecting's all about. So soon, Zach will have 12 useless Virtual Boy games and like 2 good ones, so he'll know the feeling.
At least 3 good games on that platform.
Jack Bros is good. What I
Mario
played of
Tennis is
Virtual
fun
Boy
for
Wario
5
Land
minutes.
was pretty good, and everything else I played around with was pretty unremarkable.
I had fun like the 2 minutes of Mario's Tennis. But we'll see.
We'll see indeed.
I'm gonna give them all a fair shot.
Tyler, where's your video? You got your mystery box of games that you never showed off. And we're all impatiently
it's
waiting
right there.
for you.
Sitting right there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could say I have time tomorrow, but I said that the last 2 episodes, so I don't know what I don't know what to really say.
You did record it, right? Like you know what's in there, right?
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay.
It's on my computer. I just
been
gotta
sitting
like
with that
throw
box
some.
still
I just
taped
gotta.
up.
I literally
would
just
not be able
gotta.
to withstand that.
I literally just gotta like throw some music on it and edit a little bit and throw it up. It's really not much, but yeah, I don't know. It's only
I feel
just
you.
one cut, so
Hey, I get that too.
it's not much work. Maybe we'll get it done.
It's hard when you want to make content about video games, and while you're doing it, you're like, I could just be playing video games. It's part of the issue. That's my issue.
The eternal struggle.
It's like anytime I want to make a video about a game, I'm like, I think I'd rather just play a game. This is much more like a motivating, easy thing to do because it's like shooting the shit with friends. Like we talk on this show like how we pretty much just talk all the time anyway. So
Yeah, it's not even like we're recording. We're just talking to each other.
I do sometimes forget when we get super deep into like our conversations. I do forget sometimes that we're doing a show.
Yeah. Craig, on your note about like recording content about games when you just want to play games, sometimes I told myself for a while, I was like, I'm gonna make a short about every single game I play that I like. I'm gonna like do like a 1-minute short talking about it, and then I'll like be super into a game, and then I'm like, okay, I should probably take literally 2 minutes to record a 1 minute of me talking about it. I'm like, but I could keep playing it for 10 minutes. And I just like don't stop playing it, and I just never goes anywhere.
It's much easier to not make a video than to make a video. So
Oh yeah.
very much so. We have an audience write in. We have our boy Patrick, as usual. This is Patrick says, what games do y'all hope Nintendo brings to the GameCube expansion on the Switch 2? I know you have a lot of GameCube games already, but it'd be nice to be able to play them on a current console. I hope to see Eternal Darkness on there someday. Tyler, give us a couple of GameCube games you're hoping for.
Couple of GameCube games I'm hoping for. All right, I hope they just go balls to the wall crazy and they just give us some like random shit. Give me Cubivore because I literally want to play that. Like I don't care if it's bad or whatever. I literally want to play that game and just see what it's like. I mean, I'm sure it's probably all right, but I just want to try it, and I don't want to pay however much it's going for.
Mm-hmm. You also have the Steam Deck, so
yeah, I could just get it legally. What else off the top of my head? I mean, they announced the Pokemon games already.
Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2.
I mean, yeah, if they put the Sonic Adventure games on that would be freaking sweet.
He has to look.
Looked at his GameCube.
Hold on.
Pokemon Box. Let's see Pokemon Box on the GameCube.
Yeah. Give me like Nintendo. That's what they're waiting for. That's why they're waiting to put Game Boy Advance games on there because they're waiting to put Pokemon Box.
There you go.
It's just all gonna be compatible.
It's all coming together. Their master plan. Masuda's been waiting for this day.
Oh, you know what game would be perfect if they did it with the freaking Joy-Cons? Like if they somehow worked it. Yeah, what if they put like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on that shit?
I'd be down for that. That'd be fun.
I'd play it.
That could work, dude.
That could work.
Just like...
No, I only want to play it with the bongos.
I mean, yeah.
With the bongo adapter.
The GameCube controller adapter for bongos.
Yeah, the GameCube controller adapter works on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. So you'd be able to just plug the bongo straight in.
So,
I have a beef with Nintendo and GameCube right now because I wanted to get the GameCube NSO controller, because I love the GameCube. And they're like, oh yeah, if we sign up with this email, you'll get like an email to chance to buy it or whatever, like blah blah. So I got that invitation, I clicked on it, and I went to go add it to my cart, put out all my information, and got to the confirm purchase, and it's like, oh, no, you can't buy the GameCube controller yet unless you also buy the console through us right now. So
that's obnoxious.
You gotta wait till the 13th.
Till Tuesday. Yeah, I think it's Tuesday.
That's everybody else.
But it let me go all the way through, like put in my location or my shipping address, my credit card info, and hit confirm purchase. And it's like, oh nope, I don't see a Switch 2 in your cart. I was like, well, of course not. I already have my pre-order. It's like too bad.
Hey, at least you got an invite. I didn't get
one either. Well, don't they say it's prioritized by your playtime on your actual console? And Zach definitely has more playtime than you and I, Tyler. Let's be real.
I mean,
so I think it's first come, first serve, and you have to also have met a certain threshold of hours on your Switch.
What the threshold is?
So it's only like 50 hours. They're just trying to prevent people from making they're trying to prevent people making accounts and like
which is valid.
Bot purchases.
I actually think that's a good way of going about it. I'm in full support of that.
Yep.
I think it's a good way to, make sure your hardcore audience is able to get one.
I think I buy so many games from them, they should just give me the console for free.
Even trade.
Even trade.
In terms of GameCube games I want put on the Switch, we're getting Wind Waker, this is my favorite Zelda game, so I'm already happy about that. They already showed. I'm trying to think of what they showed in the little sizzle reel.
Soul Calibur 2.
Soul Calibur 2. I know we're getting Super Strikers or whatever it is, Mario Strikers. I can't.
F-Zero
GX.
Sunshine, Chibi Robo, Path of Radiance.
Okay, Path of Radiance, which is awesome. I'm so happy about that.
Both Pokemons.
If you want to talk about like an expensive game that's kind of a deep cut, but is actually very good, Gotcha Force would be awesome if Capcom decided to port that. Gotcha Force, people talk about expensive GameCube games, that one always comes up, but I never actually hear anyone talk about how it plays or the game itself, and it is actually a really cool, fun game. It's a fun, interesting concept. It's like kids playing with, it's like you're like playing with toys, fighting aliens. It's super weird and goofy, but it's a really fun time. So I would definitely recommend that. Eternal Darkness will also be awesome. I really enjoyed my time with Eternal Darkness when I played it quite a long time ago now. I think they said Luigi the Mansion's going to be on there too. That's, of course, a good one. Great short video game. Trying to think. I don't know. Skies of Arcadia, of course, would be super cool if Sega wanted to be the best ever. That'd be awesome.
Sega should also. I had some ideas. For context, I put out a short for like the top five games I want added to GameCube
Yes,
NSO.
Melee, of
Like,
course.
yeah, but some of the comments pointed out like Super Monkey Ball. Like that was a launch game for the GameCube. That's a pretty like big GameCube game.
Yeah.
That could come to the surface. That could pretty cool to have the original Monkey Ball in there.
Yeah, 1 and 2, both the original Monkey Balls are fantastic. So there's tons of cool stuff you could do.
Craig, you're telling me you don't want your biggest GameCube hidden gem on the NSO?
What?
Hello Kitty Roller Rescue.
That's true. I do love Hello Kitty Roller Rescue. That game is legitimately awesome. I always forget that it's a GameCube exclusive though too. I think it like got released in like China on Xbox or something super weird like that. But everywhere else in the world, I think it was GameCube only. And it's a really fun like action platformer ish kind of game where you're like fighting aliens as Hello Kitty, and you're like a magical girl with like a wand taking shit down. It's super weird and goofy, but it's a great time. You can beat it in like 2 hours, but heavy recommend.
So,
Unironically, it's great.
how do y'all feel about Melee coming to NSO? Because that was like my number one thing. They haven't shown it obviously, but that was my number one of the top five I want added. And I got so many comments on the short, like literally, like
Yeah.
at least 10 people saying, "No, it's not going to happen. You're crazy." The number one liked comment on the thing is asking for Melee is an insane thing to do with 31 likes on a comment. I was like, like no one has any confidence that Melee's coming, but like I get like being like not trusting Nintendo to put it on there, but like more so than any other Smash, Melee is the GameCube. Like
Yeah.
you can't put a GameCube service out and not put Melee on
But
there.
I think a big part of the issue is that Nintendo doesn't like Melee, and they don't like that it's had such staying power. Like, I feel like they have like a vitriolic hate towards their own game
They,
because
they
people
do,
took
but,
it
like,
more seriously than they ever wanted them to. And trust me, I want it too, but I'm in the camp of where I feel like it won't happen, even though it's the game I would want the most.
and like to be fair, I think if I had a gun to my head, I don't think they're gonna put it on there. And they haven't even put Smash 64 on there yet.
Which is also
but-
asinine.
You made a game that people still love like 20 years later, play like crazy, and it is like by far the most popular GameCube game. Like you know when you like, ask the public,
Yeah, even just sales
GameCube-
number wise.
Yeah, you can't just ignore it because you're being petty. Like just put it on
But
there.
I think they are.
You don't
That's the
have to
crazy part. Is I think it's purely pettiness that they ignore it and they don't do anything.
So
with it.
annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of it's Sakurai too, because I know that he's like, he always wanted it to not be taken so seriously and competitively and stuff.
But you know what? My counter to that, and I respect Sakurai and like all the games he's made. At the end of the day, you made something that millions of people love, and to just be like, y'all can't play it because y'all like it too much is like the most ridiculous like reason to not let people have something.
It really is.
Y'all like this thing I made too much, so fuck y'all. Y'all can't have it. Like, come on,
It's
grow
how,
up.
it's how it comes
Like, I don't
off,
like.
but it really does suck. It's I don't know. It makes me really sad because I want it so bad, but there's I don't know. At least we have Slippy. You know, we have an option. Modern day widescreen online Melee exists, but I'd rather it be official if we had the option, right?
Exactly. I want to play through the event matches on my Switch. I want to like do classic mode on my. I want to do all that stuff.
Whenever I think of Slippy, by the way, shout out to you, Zach. I don't know if you even remember this. The first time we ever spoke was you were watching me play Smash on Bird Dog Gaming's Discord.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just live streaming it on there, and you hopped on, and we started talking. So
That's funny.
I always think that's fun. I forget who's
Yeah,
your
I mean-
Smash. Who's your Melee main, Zach? I can't remember.
As a kid, it was Roy, and then
You're always a Fire
I was
Emblem dork.
it was actually Link when I first got the game, and then when I thought I was good at the game when I was like 12, it was Roy, and then when I got really 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 into it when I was like 19, 20, I was playing like every day with people like coming to my apartment to play
Yeah.
it. I was a Marth main, but I have since lost all of the like the touch. I feel like I got to get back into it.
Yeah, that honestly, that's something we should both just get like Slippy set up and like practice with each other. That'd be fun. I'd be down for that.
The GameCube, if they give me online GameCube games and I can play Melee and like Mario Baseball
Yeah,
with
it's
my
over.
friends, I will spend. It's almost like they'd be doing themselves a disservice because I wouldn't be buying other games because I'm just gonna be playing these GameCube games online with my friends.
Yeah, if I
Like,
had Melee at the ready with on like modern day online, I think that would be it. Like I would never want to play anything else.
yeah.
Tyler, who's your Melee main?
Probably Marth.
Yeah, when I was playing a little bit like when I was going to community college, all those moons ago now, that was my character. But when I in the last couple of years, every time I play Melee, I gravitate towards Captain Falcon just because I think he's obviously the fastest and flashiest, and it's very fun to play as him. So
My favorite characters to watch. So like Martha's like up there for my favorite. It's my favorite to play. But my favorite two to watch by far are Falcon and Captain Falcon and then Falco.
mm-hmm.
I love watching like a good Falco and a good Captain.
Dude, shout out to
Falcon.
watching
So
a good Peach player too, which is a rare breed in 2025.
Yeah.
But never
Yeah.
forget how legendary Armada's Peach was. Those are the good old days.
Yep. There's that clip that always comes up of like him. I think he's playing Leffen, and he's like hitting him with like his parasol as he's going down into a guy. It's so crazy that he pulled it off. Yeah. Yeah. It's Melee's so good, man. I just give it to us. I'll pay extra. I'll buy it. I'll buy it straight off like for $50 and then use the NSO still. Just let me have it.
Yeah, see, that's where it's like they could get toxic and they could be like $10 extra a month for Melee, and I'd be like, okay.
They could do that with with Melee and then like the Pokemon games, like make a new tier for like
Just
make
those.
a new tier for like gatekeeping stuff
For most wanted
like,
games.
yeah, it's like gatekeep people. It's like way more expensive.
That'd be
Wait,
terrible.
so real quick, since we're like onto this new tier shit, so they're changing the name to Nintendo Classics from NSO, right? Like I know
So
NSO.
to clarify, it's still Nintendo Switch Online, but within Nintendo Switch Online are the Nintendo Classics.
Okay, so do you think they're going to call it Sega Classics, or like what are they going to do for Genesis stuff? Is that still going to be there?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's still going to be there, but the Sega Genesis stuff is still part of Nintendo Switch Online, but it's not part of the Nintendo Classics. It's like off to the other perks on the side,
Okay.
like Tetris 99 and stuff like that.
I wish they'd give us more like Sega stuff, like besides Genesis. I'm tired of all the Genesis re-releases. Give us some Master
Do you think
System
that's on
Game Gear.
Sega, or do you think that's on Nintendo? Like, who's not playing ball there?
I don't know, because it's like, how cool would it be if they had like a Dreamcast tier or something? I'd be so excited. I know Saturn would never happen because it's just too complicated and all that stuff, but if they did Dreamcast, I'd be so excited.
Just give us a Wonder Swan tier.
There you
Fuck
go.
it.
But really, even if they did like Master System and Game Gear as like a tier 2, that'd be cool. You know, it's like more 8-bit stuff, but like different than what we're used to being re-released.
They
So
can play worse Game Boy games. We got the Game Gear.
shut up. You suck. All right, what have we been playing, boys? Let's see. Zach, you left yours blank, so I'm gonna let you go first.
So I was out of town this last week. No, it's not. It's not. It's an inside joke. Don't put that on me. I was out of town last week, so I didn't play much. I played like a little bit of Dragon Quest III on a plane. But pretty much every waking moment where I've been in front of a video game system at my house, I've been playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I think my save file says like 57 hours now. And that was over just like 2 weekends, like not even weekday time, because I wasn't here last week.
Were you aware that this game is the second coming of Christ?
I mean, it's very good. I'm not. I mean, I fall into this like recency bias sometimes, so I'm trying not to like say it's the best game ever. I do think it's very, very good. But it is like the highest rated game of the year, which I think is really interesting.
Very.
I'm having an absolute blast with it. I'm loving the hell out of it. I'm at the end game where it's like go fight the boss, well, the final boss, or go do all their side stuff. And I'm finishing up the side stuff.
So since you're deeper than me, how's the trophy situation? Is there a lot of missables?
Technically, there's only one missable. But it is a trophy you can get during the tutorial, and you can get it on a New Game Plus or just a new save whenever. So I wouldn't even really call it a missable. It's like You can just make a new save and get it in 5 minutes.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, the trophies, they're basically get your character to max level, do all the super bosses,
What's max
do
level?
all the side quests, stuff like that. The maxed character level, you asking? Yeah, it's just 99. It's just like a,
Tyler, I see you've also been playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing much games lately. Had a lot of shit I was doing. Mainly going through my Pokemon card collection. You know, a big part of that is bye now, but it's worth it.
Way?
Huh?
No way?
Yeah, me and my friend made a deal. You know,
so
so
Tyler's
that's on its
taking
way to
us all
him.
out to dinner next time we see him.
Did you just get a third kidney?
So maybe, but yeah, I still have a lot of like bulk shit, and I kept some, like a stack like that.
Some of your
Well, no,
favorites.
and I kept like my complete base set because
That's
it's base
just
set.
cool,
I wanted
yeah.
to keep that, so I kept
How do you
that.
have it stored? Is it in like a binder with like every card in the sleeve kind of thing?
So the base set I have, I actually bought that off of Jason. He has every single card, sleeves, and top loaded, and it's in like a little cardboard container, so you can just go through all of them. So they're all like, pretty well protected. Yeah, then my other ones are just sleeves.
A house with that.
But yeah, so I got that, and I kept a few. Got rid of a lot. I was showing Craig, and Craig was like, "Holy shit, you got that one! You got that one!"
I know he was FaceTiming me as he was going through some of his boxes, and he had so it was so funny. He just was casually coming across like multi-hundred and a couple cards over like $1,000. I was like, "You're crazy."
Yeah,
he just had
I
these sitting in his
casually
room collecting dust. He's like, "Oh, I forgot I had these." I'm like, "How do you forget?"
Yeah, like I opened my what was it, like Team Up or whatever I think it was.
Oh yeah,
and then it had like, the Latios and Latios Lovebirds,
Yeah.
which mind you is like an $1,800 card.
yeah, like
And I was
raw,
like,
not graded.
I didn't know I had that. So yeah, there were
Bonkers.
some cards like that. 2 Shining Gyarados, that was kind of wild.
So when he shows up to next episode with a Pokemon box, you know why.
Yeah, because I bought Craig's. But yeah. So,
Yes.
but then like
Oh, we
during
have a
that whole
question?
time, yes.
Quick Pokemon card question.
Okay.
So I have cards from my childhood that are like not in like great condition, but they're like in serviceable condition. How easy? Like if I wanted to get like a couple of my favorite cards graded just to put them in the glass shelf, how hard is that to do?
It's not.
Like how safe is it to mail them off?
It's pretty easy and safe. I could kind of show you the ropes on that if you want me to later.
Yeah, I just want to get like a couple of my favorites, even if they come back as like a 4. I don't really care. I just want to have like a cool display for them. And
Yeah,
put
it'd
them
be
in
fun.
there.
No, yeah, and it's and pricing all that kind of stuff it depends on the card condition, value of it, insurance, yada yada. But it's a pretty easy process. You just got to buy a couple of things to make sure you ship them properly. So, but it's easy to do.
How long does it take? Like the whole process, sending it.
It
getting
depends
back?
on how much you pay for that as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
But so yeah, going through all that, I was hearing all this Claire Obscure hype, and I wanted to get the game, and I couldn't find the physical freaking anywhere. So, and I really wanted to play something, and that's what I wanted to play because all my friends are playing it. So I said, "All right, well, guess I'm buying this game digitally." So I bought it digitally. I mean, I could have just booted up my Xbox and played it on Game
Welcome to
Pass,
the club.
but I'm not about that life.
I was gonna say, who
So,
plays on their Xbox? That's gross.
Exactly. We're already getting Gears of War on PlayStation. Now all we need is Halo, and might as well toss this Xbox. Probably sell it for what I got it for now that it went up $100. But
Hey, Game Pass is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, they did raise
I mean,
the
yeah.
price of their consoles. That was insane. Forgot that
yeah,
happened.
it's up
already.
$100. So I'm gonna sell this for $500, and technically I'm not making anything back because I got it for free for switching my internet. But yeah, come up. But well, no, I gotta at least play that one game with Christian. Why am I forgetting the name of it? Guardian Heroes. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so I played a Claire Obscure. Not that far into it. I'm probably like 2 or so hours. But as of right now, music's fantastic. I like
The music
really like
is
the
so
Mime
good.
theme.
The music
Music
is
is
so fucking good. Oh my god.
And
Specifically,
I gotta say,
best song I've heard in the game so far, the tutorial fight, like the very first fight in the game where they teach you the mechanics. I literally just had that on repeat for like an hour last night. That song is so good. And they like bring back the melody from the title theme. Just, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's so good.
Just so you know, that doesn't stop. It does that for like 50 hours. It keeps giving you new music that's keeps being good. It's insane. Have you heard about the guy who made the music for this game?
Yeah, they found him on SoundCloud or something, right?
oh, really?
just some dude.
It's insane. Just
It's
some of the
crazy.
greatest music that's ever graced my ears.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy with the way gaming is today, with how like all these AAA games cost this much to make and need 10,000 freaking people, and then people are all like complaining about it and like, oh, we need a video game. Then you got this company, 33 people, and a budget title, mind you, for $50, and sold 2 million in what 2 days or something like that, or whatever it was. Crazy, like it can be done.
And the fact that
Can be done.
it's sold 2 million and it's on Game Pass is pretty incredible. So it's a testament to how well the game is doing. Because it's like you technically don't have to pay for this game if you want to play it.
So I don't know. It's great. I love the combat system's fun because it's not just turn based. You also have like the parrying and the dodging, which now I'm kind of getting more of a feel for. Which at first I just kept trying to parry. I was like not dodging. I just wanted to be like, yeah, I'm gonna parry all these dudes. Yeah, I was getting whooped a little bit.
Oh, dude, I'm
and then I
totally getting
figured
skill checked in this game. I can't lie. I'm getting my ass whooped.
And so, for what it's worth, I like I said, I'm like 50 something hours into it. I focused on dodging for most of the game, and once I got more confident in certain like enemy attacks, I started parrying like the last 20 hours or so. Like dodging is more than fine. You're going to do plenty of damage on your attacking side of the turns, but when you want to get fancy, and then later in the game, it'll start making you parry more. I wouldn't like focus super hard on only parrying.
Maybe that's
Dodging
my
is
issue, because I haven't been dodging at all. I've just been trying to parry.
Dodging is more than okay for most of the game.
Yeah.
I know tomorrow I gotta try to like sit down and play a big chunk because I keep hearing at the end of Act 1 some crazy ass shit happens. Like I seen it on Facebook. I seen like not what happens, just at the end of Act 1. My friend was like, "Oh, you gotta get there," While I'm like, "All right, now I gotta know what happens. I gotta get there."
Yeah, I respect that people are being very good about spoilers for this game. I haven't really seen any spoilers, honestly, which is nice. So,
yeah, the only thing I've seen are out of contexts, like clips of some end game builds of people just doing like a bunch of damage. But I have not seen any story stuff spoiled, which has been nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to play more for sure. I'm same as you, Tyler, about 2 hours in. I think I've fought technically the first boss, so I'm not very far at all, but I'm having a good time with it. Very, very sad. So maybe if you're having a bad day, hold off for a bit. But it's very beautiful, very well made.
It gets you going real quick, like this. It gets you hooked like immediately.
Yeah, because the premise is just really interesting and unique right off the bat. So,
yep.
I'm excited to play more
I will
of
say
it.
I'm happy I got the trophy already for beating a boss without taking damage. I was pretty proud of that
There
one.
you go.
All right, ain't gotta worry about that shit.
You won't have to worry about it. You'll get to some stuff later on in the game where you'll like forget some random side boss, and then you'll come back and clean it up later and just one shot them, and you would just get the trophy.
Okay.
Then.
There you go.
Yeah,
All
it's not that big.
That's the only one I was really worried about. I was like, this might be difficult.
Yeah, would you
Gives me
say the game's grindy at all, or no?
Depends on what you mean by grindy. There is a lot of optional content that opens up at the end of the game. If you mean like specifically like I'm going to do all the content, there is a lot of it, but a lot of it's optional. As far as leveling up your character and stuff, no, it's not grindy. Okay. You level up at the rate you need to. For most of the game, I've been over leveled because I've been doing a lot of side content. But like I said, the game is this long. But if you do all the optional stuff, that's like mainly end game. It's this long.
Really?
It's like there's
Over
a
doubles?
lot of optional stuff. There's a lot of optional stuff at the end.
And you like it enough that you're going to do it all?
Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
Some really cool, fun stuff in the back third of the game.
Good stuff. All right, Tyler, it looks like you haven't been playing anything else unless you have. I was going to go back to Zach in case he had anything else on his invisible list of games.
No, that's pretty much the main thing, other than a little bit of like Call of Duty Zombies. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
You got anything else, Zach?
Yes. Just real quick, I have been playing. Like I said, I've been streaming Mario 64 because we're doing the episode on it a couple weeks, and then I've been slowly chipping away through another run of Sacred Stones just to like refamiliarize myself, be real fresh for that episode.
Yeah, I'll have to start that soon. 8 weeks away will be sounds far now, and then somehow it always just appears.
When you say it like that, it's like I probably don't need 8 weeks to beat Sacred Stones, but
I might need 8 weeks, honestly. So, trying to think how I want to play it, because I have it physically on Game Boy Advance. I have it on 3DS. I have it on Nintendo Switch Online, and of course I have a bajillion emulators I could play it on. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to play it. But I feel like Game Boy Advance games look really good on the Switch OLED just because of the OLED screen. So I think that might be the move.
I'm trying to figure out if I should play it on my Switch or finish it on here. I don't know.
The Analog Pocket is pretty sexy.
It is.
I'll say I'm cheating.
Still in there.
I beat this game like a dozen times, so when I make a bad play, I'm just rewinding on NSO and doing something else.
You're like, it's fine.
I've beaten this game like literally a dozen times. I don't need to feel bad about it. But
is this your most replayed game? Would you say?
As far as like rolling credits, probably. Like I mean, like if you call like replaying Minecraft, like going through Minecraft phases every couple months. But as far as like rolling credits on a game, it's probably the game I've seen credits on the most. Yes.
Nice. Tyler's trying to think of his most replayed game now. I was gonna ask him, but I could already feel he's trying to figure it out.
It's probably Ape Escape, to be honest. I
Really?
played that game so many times. Like that's the one that just comes to my mind. I'm like, yeah, I beat this one numerous times.
For me, it's definitely it's a 3-way tie between Ocarina, Sonic Adventure 1, and Sonic Adventure 2. So if it was one of those, probably Ocarina, but Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 are both probably pretty close up there too. Because my Dreamcast was like on for 5 years straight, basically, when I was a kid, and I had those games. So just never stopped.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, like I've probably only rolled credits like 3 or 4 times. But like on my saves, I've spent like hundreds of hours doing like Chow Garden stuff. So.
Shout out to the Chow Garden.
Shout out.
Something we need back. We'll probably never get it.
And then I know I said a little bit about Clair Obscur, but we talked about it enough. I think the only other thing been playing, Oblivion Remastered. Beat it. Got the Platinum Trophy. I am the true legend and hero of Cyrodiil. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna definitely like have to simmer on it for a bit. But this might be like a top 10 game of all time. I enjoyed it that much. Honestly, the main reason I haven't played more Clair Obscur is because I want to just play Oblivion again already. Like I just want to keep playing it because I'm enjoying it that much.
Nice.
I completed every faction. But I did not do the DLCs, so I still have that option, which is nice. I could do the Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles. People often say Shivering Isles is like some of the best DLC ever, so I'm excited to check that out. But man, just what a fantastic experience. Everything about the game is just so good, and they cleaned up all of the well-loved but admittedly present flaws in the original version, and they really just made like the true like cool like awesome dark fantasy game that like I always like kind of wanted, and I loved it so much. It's a true role-playing game. It's not like Master where you could be like Skyrim where you could be like a master of everything and anything. You have your limitations, and it's just can't recommend it enough. The music's fantastic, presentation's fantastic. I really like the story. I thought that the ending was really cool. And I always like a good story, where you're not the main character. It's cool that Oblivion isn't about you. You're a side character. Like, that's just kind of there for who the true hero of the story is, which is kind of interesting and cool. Can't think of a lot of games where that's the case. So the fact that you you're part of the bigger picture, but you're not the big picture. It's kind of cool and interesting. So, had a very good time.
Nice.
Yes, would recommend it to everybody, especially if you like Skyrim. I personally think that this is better. You know, I played Skyrim, and by the time I beat the main story of Skyrim, I was just kind of done. I wasn't even really interested in a lot of the side stuff because I just didn't find it as interesting. But Oblivion, I'm all about it. I'm ready to go back, do the DLC, do all the other side quests that aren't related to like the factions. I'm just knee deep in this, and this part of the reason I haven't played more Clair Obscur, because I beat Oblivion, I started Clair Obscur, and I was like, this isn't what I want right now. I'm like, I want to go back to Cyrodiil, actually. So, unfortunate timing, because Expedition 33 was supposed to be like the game that I played in like for this month essentially, and now that's keeps falling by the wayside. So I'm gonna play it still, but
it's almost like Xbox shouldn't have released that game 2 days before
they really shouldn't
Clair
have.
Obscur came out.
I don't know why they did.
I don't understand that.
It was so strange on their part. It's like they really did kind of self-sabotage their own like biggest Game Pass yet. So in terms of like third-party stuff, it's very strange.
I downloaded Oblivion to Game Pass, and I was like, I'd love to play this. However, I'm playing the other game that you should be like pushing. Like I don't understand.
But like I said, I still feel like I did my part. I bought Clair Obscur launch day. I want to make sure I still supporting it, even if I didn't get to it right away. And who knows? After this, I don't know if I'm going to play Clair Obscur, or if I might start playing Shivering Isles. We'll see. So, but Oblivion might be one of my new all-time favorite games. I loved it that much. So, shout out to who is it? Virtuous that did this remaster? They did a fantastic job. Shout out to Virtuous. Yeah. As long as I'm right, I can't totally remember.
Shout out, you are.
If not, shout out to Bethesda, because obviously they made the original. The original's great too in its own right. So, guess it's time for some recent gaming pickups. Tyler, you could go second. Zach, why don't you go first?
Yeah, we're on a call. A few days ago, we were talking on Discord, and
Uh-oh. Your
Your
audio is gone.
You lose me?
We're good now.
Back?
I think we're good.
It said my audio. It's like your audio input device has changed. It's like, no, it hasn't. What do you mean? Like,
Stop.
I don't think it has. Let me double check
You sound the same
real
here.
quick. I sound the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple of days ago, I know y'all were giving like tours of y'all's like collections and stuff. And I happened to be at my hometown, my parents' house, and I went to the closet and I was like, I'm gonna dig out my sister's DS games.
Oh hell yeah.
There's a bunch of nonsense in there, like a bunch of like just complete shovelware like crap games in there. But there were two games that I thought were good enough for me to bring home and steal.
There you go.
Unfortunately, both of these don't have the cartridge in them. The cartridge is wherever her DS is. Her like pink pearl DS has all of like the games in that case. So all the boxes are empty. But I took the boxes to Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on the DS.
Good
and Nintendogs Dalmatian and Friends.
Dude, let's go. I love Nintendogs.
Now I'm just gonna buy a couple loose cartridges on eBay to complete these.
Hell yeah. I had the Chihuahua version as a child.
Chihuahua. Includes Dalmatian, Boxer. This is probably what she got. We had Boxers growing up.
Oh, cute.
Dalmatian, Boxer, German Shepherd Dog. It's like when Tyler says game at the end of a game. It says German Shepherd Dog.
If I remember right, I think that version came out later, and it was more desirable because it had like a bunch of different breeds the other games didn't have.
Interesting. Golden Retriever, Yorkshire Terrier, and Beagle. So that's some pretty popular dog breeds there. Nintendogs is a hilarious series to me because these games did so well. And then Nintendo, I don't know if they just decided like people don't care anymore or it wouldn't sell as well, but they just kind of stopped making these.
Yeah, we got some on 3DS, which I never played. I've always wanted to try them. The
Nintendogs plus Cats. Right? Yeah.
And they also released
is there four of these? Three or four of these?
I think it's 4 on DS.
Yeah.
And then I think there's like another one that came out in Japan that we didn't get here. There you go.
On the back, there's the other 3 versions. So.
Yeah, because I think Japan got like a Shiba Inu version or something too.
That's kind of cool.
I need to fact check myself real quick, but
I'll get some loose cartridges for these, put them on the shelf, and then I will probably never play them. But
Okay, I didn't make it up. Nintendo Shiba Friends. It's real.
Shiba Friends.
Perfect.
Is it Nintendoge there? Like the Doge Shiba Inu?
There you go. Oh,
Not to be
cute.
confused or affiliated with other similarly named things.
Things that now shall be mentioned on this show. Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
He's like, oh, and a
'Cause my
surprise
Claire-
switch too early.
No, and my Claire Obscure physical that got delivered to the wrong house still has not shown up, so I don't think it's showing up.
What a pain.
So someone just took that game and threw it away, I guess.
They're like, oh, French, and then they threw it in the trash.
If you received a package at your doorstep that was not for you, but it was clearly a package, not spam mail, you would bring it to like the post office at the least, right?
Or if
Eventually-
it's probably someone that's even on your same street. So it's like I would just bring it to their house.
I checked all surrounding houses. It's not. It was a blue door, and it's no blue doors near me.
Such a shame.
I'm just saying. At some point, I'm bringing that to UPS or the post office. I'm not just throwing it away.
Yeah, no,
like
it's kind of
just-
fucked up.
Or they just opened it and they were like, "Ooh, a game."
That's the funniest possible outcome if it was just someone else who wanted the game.
They're like, oh,
that would be
perfect.
hilarious.
At least they got what they wanted in the end. Can't all be winners.
Yep. Can't all be winners.
Tyler, what you got?
So, pretty much, there's a store, a little chain of stores near me called Just Press Play, and they closed down one of their stores because they opened what they are calling a mega store. It's like a mini warehouse that they bought out, and that's what they made into a store. It's got like 2 floors. They had some special guests like Spawn Wave and Some Call Me Johnny there. It was packed. I'm glad I went a little later because I guess they had a line. There were people that camped out overnight for the store opening, is what they said. And then also, I guess, like, people weren't allowed, like, they had, like, max capacity in there, and then they had to start, like, letting people in. There was still a line outside for, like, 2 hours.
Damn.
Something like that. By the time we got there, I'd literally seen somebody pulling out right up front. I got front parking,
Hell
and we
yeah.
went right in, so it was great. And then, I don't know why, but I was just walking around trying to take in everything. I walked over to the Wii section, and I just seen 2 games. I'm like, oh, I don't see those often, so I'm going to pick them up. So, I don't even know why, to be honest. But I got Battalion Wars 2.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Often
It was like
forgotten
$12.
game.
So, screw it, why not? And then Super Swing Golf.
Yes, I love that game. I'm so excited for you. You need to boot up your Wii and play it. I fucking love
Are
that
you like
game.
dead ass?
No, I'm not
You're like
kidding.
serious?
That's like one of my favorite golfing games. I love it. It is so fun.
It looked really cool. I was just like, oh, the cover. I like how they're sitting on a Wii remote.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love Super Swing Golf. You have to play it. I'm not even
I-
joking around right now. I love
I
that
literally
game.
never seen this before, and it was like $12.
I
and
played
was
the
like, okay.
shit out of that when I was a kid. I love that game. It is so good.
It looks pretty much kind of like Hot Shots.
It's fantastic.
essentially.
It's a fantastic golf game. Like, my favorite golf games of all time are that and Toadstool Tour. So it's like, check it out. It's a good time.
Even got the Reg card, my guy.
Ooh.
Like,
Shout out to the Reg card in the Super Swing Golf. Sorry to pop off on Super Swing Golf for the Wii. I just wasn't
it's like,
expecting
oh, I love
it.
it!
I got excited. I'm like,
Yeah,
Super
I-
Swing Golf
Exactly.
mentioned.
The disc is really lame, but I mean,
It's a great game, though. It's super fun. It's super fun.
maybe I'll boot up my Wii.
I haven't played it in
Or
Heck
just
yeah.
so
my Wii games,
long,
man.
but I have it. And then I also own the sequel, but I never even tried it. I just bought it when I found out it existed. So, but
There's a sequel
there's a Super Swing Golf too.
on the Wii.
Let me fact check myself because I always feel like I'm telling
How,
lies.
how did I never seen these?
Super Swing Golf
What?
2. Yep, it's real. Season 2.
Season 2.
That's what it's called. Super Swing Golf Season 2. Shout out to Tecmo.
I'm gonna have to look for that one too, I guess.
Dude, yeah, I'm telling you, I really,
Alright.
I really, really, really like that game. I'm so nostalgic for it. That's super fun. How
Well,
exciting.
guys, when we have top 5 Wii games on here, it's probably
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be on there.
Craigslist.
Number 1, baby, Super Swing Golf. Everyone else is like, yeah, dude, Mario Galaxy 2, Twilight
And
Princess.
tough. That'd be a fun list. Top 5 Wii games. I think we are the one we have like 5 different games each.
Oh yeah, well, because contrary to popular belief, amazing library on the Wii. Like, there's a lot of shovelware, yeah, but there's probably like a solid 208, like 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 games on there. Like, fantastic
There's
shit.
so many games on the Wii is the problem. Like, there's just a
Kind
huge
of like
number.
the PS2. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that out
Good
then,
stuff.
I guess.
No, you really should. I remember loving it. So now I'm like, man, I should just play it again, see if it even holds up. But I'm very
Craig should
nostalgic
make
for it.
Craig should make a short of getting excited over Super Swing Golf.
Super Swing Golf
Yes!
retrospective. What if I made it like one of those really dramatic like YouTube like video essays where it's just like this game changed me? Super Swing Golf for the Wii. This game rewired my brain.
Video essay.
It would definitely be the first video essay on Super Swing Golf. Alright, sorry, go on, Tyler.
Okay. No, you're fine. I'll show this one. And then I walked over to the PlayStation section, and this game I've been like eyeing up for a little bit. I've been wanting to play it, and that's Neon White.
Oh, I've heard that's
I
very
almost
good.
dropped it. Yeah, Patrick was saying it was good, and every time I seen it, it was like $30, $40. I'm like, yeah. And then they had it pre-owned for like $16.99, and I was like, all right, I'll pick that up for that price. Why not?
Hell yeah.
And then this game, Patrick just showed me, and he was just like, you should get this because I guess it's not easy to find. I have no clue what it even is. I was just like, okay, once he showed me the eBay solds. Play a story-driven RPG with fantasy elements and morally ambiguous
Super Swing Golf Season 2.
can't speak, choices taking place in a culturally diverse world of early 20th century Warsaw. And that is the Thaumaturge, something like that.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, it looked interesting, and I don't know. So
Weird. Never heard of
I'll
it.
give it a shot. Why not? I think this one was $40, but it was selling on eBay for like 50, 60.
You know,
So
people like us are so in the weeds of just like modern day releases, video games in general, right? Like anytime I see a game that I've never heard of and they're like, yeah, that came out like this year, I feel like it's just weird. Like, how does anything like fly under the radar at this point? But just reminds you how many fucking video games come out every single week.
honestly, dude, there's so many. I almost bought it, but they had the limited run games copy for PS5 of Ninja 5.0. I almost bought that because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I didn't.
Very interesting.
But they had so much stuff there: collectibles, games. I couldn't really
Anything
see
like
what's in the
crazy?
glass. Well, I couldn't really see like anything in the glass cases mainly because like the line was long as hell to check out, and like it went down all the glass cases around the whole side of the store, by the stairs. But then, so me and Patrick, when we got in line, we're like, all right, we'll just get in line, and then as we go up, we'll just look in the glass cases, if we see anything. But then, as we get in the line, they're like, oh, we're starting to check people out in the back corner. So then we were just like, oh, okay. Then we just went and checked out in the back corner. So, I mean, we'll probably go again and check it out. We go there at least once every couple months. So, but now they got this big store, maybe a little more often, because I guess they're gonna start doing more events where they're gonna have like voice actors and stuff come,
Neat.
just to like be there and
What's the store
sign
called?
shit. So, just press play. Yeah, and it's their mega store.
Cool.
So, if you're in PA
Yeah, if you're in
and you're in
Tyler's
the
neck of the
Lancaster
woods, check it
area,
out.
yeah, pretty good. Definitely recommend.
Support your local game stores. Which is what I did last week, because I got a couple of games. Pink Gorilla opened up their first store outside of Seattle, Washington, here in Las Vegas, Nevada, so that was very exciting. So I went ahead and I got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on the Game Boy Color, which is a turn-based role-playing game, which is super funny. I always think it's very strange. There's a few turn-based role-playing games for the Harry Potter series, so I want to get those just because it's weird that exists. I got some more Dreamcast games for the Dreamcast Centipede. I know, super
Nice.
very strange.
Yeah, I was like,
We got Air Force Delta, a nice Konami title. We got Slave Zero. No idea what it's about, but it looks kind of interesting. We got Atari Anniversary Edition. Nothing. It's not a video game console if it doesn't have an Atari 2600 collection on it. We got NBA 2K1. Last Dreamcast game. We got Bang Gunship Elite, which is like a first person like space shooter. Looks kind of cool, so I might check that one out. And then I got this one at Retro City Games. I went there the next day, and this is a game you guys might remember when we went to the game convention in Texas. I was looking all over for Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom. Could not find it anywhere. Not considered like super rare, expensive, or anything, but for some reason, just never am able to find this game with the manuals. Always missing. And Retro got this traded in, so I had to go and pick it up. So now I'm only missing two. Yes? Oh, sorry. Forbidden Memories. Sorry, not Falsebound Kingdom.
Oh, but I was like, time out. What?
No, I'm sorry. Falsebound Kingdom is the GameCube one. Forbidden Memories is the PS1 one. So
what two are you missing?
Was this a port?
No, yeah. So I'm missing both of the 5Ds games on Wii, and after I have those, then I will have all of the
D's nuts.
Yep. I was waiting for someone to say it, but then I'll have all the console Yu-Gi-Oh games released in North America. So almost there. That was
all the cards, right?
No cards.
All with the cards, right?
No cards.
What kind of collector are you? I thought you collect complete in box.
It's not complete with manual.
It came with it. Complete with manual.
No, actually, funnily enough, there's two printings of Forbidden Memories, and one of them is not with any cards. This one never came with cards, so technically,
okay,
it is fully CIB. Tyler, shut the fuck up.
Well, those Wii games better have the cards.
They definitely won't, because it's so
You're
annoying.
Breaking your rule.
It's so annoying collecting Yu-Gi-Oh games because they're fucking 3 times the price if you actually want the trading cards with them. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah, I need to go on like TCG Player and buy the Meowth card for the Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy, because mine's missing it, and I feel some type of way without it.
You should. You might. I mean, you might as well just throw that box in the garbage right now. It's absolutely worthless without the Meowth cards.
Especially since, like, I have my games spine out, and that's the only way, games are meant to be displayed, as Craig says sometimes. And it literally says on the freaking spine comes with a trading card.
That's funny.
Ooh.
Like, it's a giant circle, and it says trading card inside.
And by the way, I'll always stand by that. I'd rather a nice spine than a nice front cover. Any day of the week. Zach, what part of your games do you see the most often? 90% of its life. 99% of its life. What do you see? The spine.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that logic. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I think I see you're coming from.
I mean,
everybody's always booing me, but I'm right.
Nintendo Switch Sports. Is that Trinity Trigger underneath Nintendo Switch Sports?
Oh, you're looking at my shelf?
Oh, his game is faced out.
I have a couple face out.
Nintendo World Championships.
There's a Metroid Dread Steelbook up there.
Shout out to Metroid Dread.
Best studio Metroid.
I know it's like really bright, but can you tell what steelbook that is?
No, not even a little bit.
Not even, yeah, no.
It's not even in frame for the podcast, my guy.
Okay.
Nobody can see
well,
it.
If all viewers get it, then figure it.
What is it?
It's Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, Frontiers is sick. Shout out to Sonic Frontiers. Yeah. I like that game a lot.
I had both of the steelbooks for him because there's 2 different ones on that game.
I listen to the soundtrack to that game almost every day to this day. The vocal tracks are so
good.
Dude,
hearing that at Sonic Symphony, so good.
Did Kellen Quinn come out and sing? Was he actually there?
No, he was in at our show.
Shout out to Kellen Quinn. He is one of the nicest musicians I've ever met. I really liked that guy when I met him. Meant a lot to teenage me because I was such a big Sleeping Sirens fan. I don't know if I don't know why I would have told this story on the show, but if I have, I apologize. We might have talked about Sonic music at some point. But when I saw Sleeping with Sirens I think for the second time in high school, it was probably like 2012, 2013. The whole band was like walking by because we got to the venue early, and me and all my friends were like, "Hey, can we take a picture? You know, we love you guys, yada yada," like all that kind of fanboy shit. That when you see a basically what's a celebrity to you as a teenager, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll come back," and then none of them came back except for Kellen Quinn. He came back, took a photo,
Hell yeah.
all of us signed our stuff, like talked to us for a little bit, and then went back inside. So it's like he literally came out just to talk to us because he said they would, and then he went back. And I was like, I always really respected that, because like obviously it's like 14, 15-year-old Craig, that like that meant the world to him, the singer of one of his favorite like screamo bands. So
A hero can be anyone, even someone doing something as simple as coming out to talk to them.
but yeah, it was so I've always had a soft spot for Kellen Quinn because he like made a good impression on me when I was really young. So, and he's still a really good singer to this day. So, shout out to Kellen Quinn. I don't think I've listened to Sleeping Siren song or album though since probably like 2014. So, it's been a minute.
I'm your biggest fan. Not anymore though.
Nah, he's so cool. One of those bands where their sound evolved away from what I preferred, but this isn't a music podcast. I'm not going to bore you with my emo music lore because I know our friend Christian probably cares, and then nobody else would care. So save it for another time. Tyler, it's time for some trivia. Tyler's
I gotta
trivia.
whip out
TT.
good old trivia.
TT time.
All right. Got 5 more questions going on here.
I can't. Have you been keeping track of who's been winning? By the way, I don't remember who's winning.
Greg has 3. Zach has 2.
There we go. We'll take it.
Yeah. Zach has 6 million and 2. Craig has 3. No.
I'll take it.
Which, by the way, Christian texted me like not too long before we started recording. He was like, "Just so you know, I knew all those trivia questions." I was like, "Okay."
Well, too bad you're not fucking playing, Christian.
Yeah, Christian. Well, let's see if you know these. All right. So this one, I obviously had to make it multiple choice because you ain't going to be able to know them.
Mm.
All right. Well, so as you know,
that when we hear it.
Last week, fuck it if you want. I don't care.
I mean, is it still who gets it first?
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Okay. So
that's what works for right now. So whatever. Yeah. So last episode we did all about the Atari.
Mm-hmm.
This is about some Atari games and some history with it. So, where was the first Pong machine located? All right. We got Chuck E. Cheese. We got Mamma Mia's Pizza in New York City. We got Andy's Cap Tavern. And we got a laundromat in North Carolina.
I hope it's Mamma Mia's Pizza.
I kind of want to go with that too because you were specifically in New York City.
Well,
you're both wrong.
Okay.
So
the laundromat. Second guess.
Yeah, the laundromat. Second guess. Yeah.
Why are you copying?
Why are y'all taking the same answer? Pick something else, Zach.
That's the logic.
Pick something else, Zach. Listen.
The overly specific answer.
No,
the overly specific answer, then the weird answer. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, but if I guess it first, and it's right or it's wrong, then you might as well get something else. So you're more likely to get the point first.
So you got Andy's Cap Tavern or Chuck E. Cheese, bro? Pick one.
Cap Tavern.
All right, Zach got it. Ding, ding, ding.
I'm like, you're playing yourself by guessing.
Give me a half a point. Give me a half. That doesn't sit well with me. Give me half a point. I don't want the full thing. I'm at 2.5 now.
You're still getting a full point. I don't care.
I'm at 2. No, I'm
not making it that complicated, boy.
Boy, I have half a point.
Okay. Well, here. Tell you what. That Pong machine actually ended up having a problem. What was the problem?
It blew up.
That was not at Mamma Mia's Pizza in New York City.
No, the Pong machine that was in Andy's Cap Tavern had a problem. What's the problem?
It was in the wrong place. It was supposed to be at Mamma Mia's Pizza in New York City.
It's a good problem.
It was too popular.
You're on the right track.
It would get filled with quarters too fast.
Yeah, people kept putting too much money into it.
Yeah. I'm going to just give that to Craig because it was so full of quarters I couldn't take anymore.
That's so funny.
So they actually had to have somebody come out before people wanted to play it so much. So I am just going to put Craig down for that one. Craig, okay. So back on the Atari, there was a game that actually had the first ever Easter egg in a video game.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
What was the game that had the first ever Easter egg? If y'all don't know, I'll give you multiple choice.
Was it?
I mean, the first ever.
Was it Haunted House?
No.
Was it Adventure?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. I was writing down multiple choice. I don't need that now. So,
What was the Easter egg?
that's the next question.
Oh, god damn it!
Isn't it like
it was
the
a-
like?
it was-
Isn't like the credits the Easter egg like it's somebody's name or something?
You're on the right track.
In the
I mean-
credits, it shouted out "Mamma Mia's Pizza" from New York City.
Shut up.
I just totally made that place so I was like, I only have to think of a pizza
Mamma
spot in New
Mia's
York City.
Wow.
Mamma
Like, what's
Mia's
the most
Pizza.
New York ass sounding restaurant? Mamma Mia's Pizza.
That's what I did.
You fooled me.
And then I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, laundromat.
Get you a New York slice at Mamma Mia's Pizza, New York City.
Hey.
So, I mean, I'll probably give it to Craig. It's a room that displays a text that says credited by Warren Robinette, the creator of Adventure.
What do you mean you guess you'll give it to me? I was right. I said it was the credits. It was somebody's name. It's exactly
said
what the
it.
Easter egg is.
Wait, the Easter egg was
kinda.
that the creator's name was in the credits?
No, like it wasn't in the credits. Like you went into like a hidden room, and there was only just text in the room that said credited by Warren and how do you say it, Robinette. Okay.
Killing the fucking game.
So we got Craig, and Zach.
I'm at half point.
All right. So last question. What game, even though not necessarily caused the video game crash?
E.T. Extraterrestrial.
All right, Zach. Good job.
What are we playing? Fucking Family Feud? You're shouting out the answer before you finish asking the question.
I asked him if we could
Mamma Mia's
say
Pizza.
it.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer, good answer.
And it's the worst answer you've ever heard in your entire life.
Tyler, I love the trivia. I do. But in hindsight, we should have just done Nintendo trivia. This is a Nintendo episode.
I mean, that is true. It probably could have, but
Just
we're
fine.
going to continue going. Well, next episode's going to be all Super Mario 64 stuff.
Maybe our next episode should just be Atari's 2600 top 5 games.
Shit, I don't know if I played 5.
I don't know, Adventure, Pong,
He's like, I can't name it anymore.
Centipede.
Shout out to my boy Pitfall. Shout out to Missile Command.
So we got Craig 6 and we got Zach 4.
3.5. To be correct.
I'm not giving you what 3.5.
I don't understand why you can't just do it.
Because that's just gonna make it. So what other question later down the line am I gonna give half a point for?
You're not. I'm just going to be that much further behind.
Forever.
I'm gonna put in parentheses 3.5,
Okay, thank you.
but it's still 4.
Tyler, let him have
Good round
it.
up.
He's very adamant. Just let it be.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to make it very much further.
5. Well, maybe you'll catch up in the Mario 64 episode.
Yeah, do you know your Mario 64 trivia?
What is the maneuver when Mario jumps backwards up the stairs?
Yahoo! Yahoo! Yeah! I'm telling you, I want Tyler to watch the 6-hour video about the A button challenge and just quiz us on the deep mechanics of Mario 64. It's like, how long do you have to hang out in the lava field before the platform just starts to go upwards in a trajectory as this animation goes up 0.2 centimeters more on the y-axis?
Is it A, 27 seconds, B, 2 minutes and 59 seconds,
C, 4
C,
years.
700 years and 45 minutes, or D, Mamma Mia's Pizza in New York City?
That was one of my favorite things about watching that really long video, though, was it really was like, I think it was one of the Bowser Castle levels where like one of the platforms after like 7 hours it like just starts to go higher up, so you don't have to jump. They just use that so they didn't have to. I'm telling you, it's the most batshit insane shit. You guys have to watch this. It'll change your lives forever. It's incredible the amount of time people wasted figuring out how to beat Mario 64 without jumping. is incredible.
If it's worth me giving 6 hours of my time, maybe I will.
It is. I'm telling you. I thought it was. I mean, maybe I'm the most boring fucking person in the world, but I'm enthralled by weird shit like that. I think it's fascinating. So, like, my wife makes fun of me all the time for watching stuff like Summoning Salt and like speedrunning history videos and stuff. I love stuff like that. I like seeing people just break down like the really deep, nitty gritty mechanics of video games. I find it so fascinating.
You know that thing in movies where someone gets punched and their soul like flies out of their body like that?
Yeah.
When the Summoning Salt like theme comes on, that's what I feel like happens to me.
Oh yeah, you feel like you're astral projecting.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Like you joined a different plane of existence for a while.
And 2 years ago, someone broke the record, and that person
Was
was me.
Or I love it even more when it's like, that person was Dick McPoopy 22. Just the most obscene names.
Dick McPoopy held on to the record for 3 more years.
Until Scrumpy showed up to the scene.
And this is how far Scrumpy pushed it. It's like a graph. It's like down 3 seconds.
Well, guys, Craig's dying.
It's lost Craig.
Hold on,
breathe.
give us a brief time for Craig to recover.
Okay. Okay. I'm fine.
Man.
Thinking about Scrumpy. Okay, I'm here. We're fine.
It was the perfect name to pick, too. You couldn't have picked a better one.
All right. We're back. Thinking about Scrumpy, the professional speedrunner. Okay, fuck, what are we talking about? Top 5 NES games. The NES was pretty cool, am I right, guys?
I guess you could say that.
Yeah, video games. Obviously, the first home Nintendo console.
I googled Scrumpy on Reddit. The rise and fall of Magic Scrumpy. Scrumpy is a tasser for Super Smash Bros. Melee.
God damn it! Of course, it's a real fucking speedrunner. That's incredible. That's incredible that's a real speedrunner.
Magic Scrumpy, to be clear.
Magic Scrumpy, God. Oh my God, there's tears in my eyes for a minute. All right. Take a
NES
breather.
games.
Back to
NES games.
Tyler, what's your fucking, I don't know, experience with the NES or whatever?
So, I didn't have an actual NES until the year 20... I think it was 2014, maybe? I think so. But I mean, I played some off of, like, different compilations and stuff. And, like, originally I played the original Mario series off of, what did I play them off of? I know I played them on, like, collection on the Wii. But I don't know if that was my first time experiencing them. Probably not, because I might have played the All-Stars collection on the Super Nintendo, I think. But anyway, my first time ever going to a gaming convention, which was Too Many Games back in, I think, 2014, I was like, you know what, this is when I want to get into collecting, into retro, stuff like that. So I ended up buying a Sega Genesis and an NES. And then Jason ended up giving me a bunch of his doubles that he had, so I got, like, the Ninja Turtles arcade game, Mega Man 1, I think Mario 1, Mario 2, and I think there was like a couple others I ended up getting. And yeah, so that's how I pretty much started with my NES. I haven't had too much experience with games on it, but I definitely played some of the classic ones, which some of them will be on my list.
Mm-hmm. Zach, give us a little bit of your NES history.
The only place... excuse me. The only place I've played an actual Nintendo Entertainment System is at a friend of mine from when I was very young. He had one, and then my my babysitter from when I was very young also had one. So I played some NES games at both of those places, but I never had one in my own home. So mainly just played them through collections or Virtual Console, NSO, stuff like that.
Good stuff. Yeah, I never had an NES either. We're all, I wouldn't call any of us young, but the NES is still kind of before our time in a way. So we did not have one of those in my house growing up. My first experience with the NES, though, was actually the Wii Virtual Console. I remember that's when I started just to get fascinated with older games. Like, I would be buying stuff, asking for, Wii Shop points for birthdays and Christmas and stuff so I could buy stuff. And that was the first way I experienced the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. Of course, classic, beautiful, lovely video game. Had a good time with it. My first time playing with an actual NES cartridge was, there's a record store chain both here in Las Vegas and Arizona, but it started in Arizona called Zia Records. I might have mentioned it on the show before, but they have a little bit of everything, and I remember going there, seeing, the gold NES cartridge for Zelda 1, which I thought was super cool. And I was like, that'd be so cool. I love Zelda. I've never played the original. I should just get it. So I bought it, and they didn't have an actual NES, but they had like one of those cheap clone consoles. So I got a copy of Zelda. I got a clone console, brought it home, and played NES Zelda for the first time that way. And, since I hadn't really had experience with old games like that, I was like, this is kind of bullshit and hard. I don't really know what to do, so I didn't get very far. But, always just been kind of fascinated with older games in that way. And as time goes on, I get more intimate with emulators and different things. I try emulating like the old Mega Man games, Final Fantasy, different things like that. And then not really till probably Switch Online is when I started to play a lot of NES games just because of the NES Online. And, then I got, a lot of the best that the series has to offer readily available on that console, being able to play at any time. Made me get more into the library. And since then, I've played more games on different collections, emulators, this, that, the other. And, there's a lot of cool, interesting stuff to be offered on the console. So, big fan of the NES. I don't think that, I think it's held a little too high of a regard in my opinion sometimes, because I think that people act like it's a console that doesn't have a ton of shovelware, like a Wii or a PS2 or something. And I'm like, there's just as much junk on the NES as there is any other console. So I think that it kind of gets given a pass just because it's the OG. But it's still a great console in its own right. It has tons of great video games. I'm excited to see what you guys put on your top 5 list. So if you guys have not joined us before, go ahead, Zach.
I was going to say, I hate to quickly sidebar, but I'm not going to have a chance to show this again. If I showed y'all this Legend of Zelda art book I have that looks like an original Zelda NES cartridge.
You haven't. Go grab it real quick. Why not?
It's right here. It's, so you mentioned the gold cartridge. It's a Zelda encyclopedia that comes in a slip like
That's
this.
That's fun.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it slips out to the...
That's cool. How funny.
Yeah.
How neat. Yeah, you love your art books, so...
Yeah, it's from Dark Horse. It's just one of the it is the encyclopedia that came in like the red, blue, green, but they had a version of this one that came out like that.
Yeah, I remember buying one of those the green Zelda encyclopedia, Hyrule Historia, I think it was, at Barnes & Noble way back when. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Still is really cool, honestly. Yeah. But it's what introduced the Zelda timeline and caused people to argue with each other till the end of time, so... That was kind of an L. But if you haven't joined us for one of our console ranking episodes before, what we do is we're all going to talk about our top 5 games. Where the game lands on our list is where it gets a point. So, for example, number 5 on our list would get 1 point, number 4 would get 2, 3 would get 3, number 2 would get 4, and number 1 would get 5 points. The higher up on our list, the more points. And at the end, we'll add up our points. If/when we have any games that are on each other's list, that usually happens, but we'll see. And then we kind of give you guys the definitive list of NES games, because we are right and you are wrong. Tyler,
right.
Since you're looking at your phone, I'm gonna make you go first.
That's fine. I was pulling on my list.
I'm just kidding.
So number 5. Yeah, I'm just kept keeping this order. I moved around so many times. I'm just going to keep it this way. So number 5, I actually experienced this emulated on a Wii with my friend Jonathan.
Nice.
But and we played. I still need to go back and actually like fully beat this game. It got to the end and literally died. But Really enjoyed it, and that's Contra. You know, good old casual, nice running, gunning, getting your little upgrades, catchy music, all that stuff. I mean, it's just a fun little pick up and play. I definitely got to get that collection that came out, that like anniversary collection. I think Jonathan has it, so I could download it off of him. But
There you
I want
go.
to get the physical one day because Contra games are pretty good.
Yeah, that's a series I have absolutely no experience with whatsoever.
Same.
I would like
It's
to
definitely
try
for
some of the games eventually. I'm always put off because it's like they're famous for their difficulty, and I'm like, oh, I want to play video games and have fun, not get my ass beat. So,
Yeah,
I
you just
mean,
do the Konami.
I was gonna say, is it pretty doable with the Konami code, or is that even not enough sometimes?
You could probably do it with Konami code.
Is it easier
It's
with
not
two
that.
people, or does the difficulty change with two people? I'm just curious if you know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think it goes up,
Because I feel like
but
it's a funny thing with old games sometimes where they're multiplayer. It's like sometimes they're way easier with the second player because all the enemies have like the same amount of health and you could just blast through everything with twice the amount of power. No, I don't know if
yeah,
Contra is one of those games.
it was funny. I was messing around with Jonathan when he was playing the anniversary collection on his PlayStation, and then since we do like game sharing things, so like I can download his stuff, he can download mine.
Yeah.
Um, I was on my portal and I signed into his PlayStation while he was playing, and it let me just play split screen Contra with him while he was playing on his TV at his house and I was playing on my portal at my house.
How funny.
That's pretty cool.
That
It
is
worked
neat.
out. I was like, "You could do this? That's kind of neat." But yeah,
All right. I got Contra on the list. 1 point. I think it's going to be a 1 point game since me and Zach both just admitted to never playing Contra. But that's okay.
probably.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I've always actually the one I've been most interested in was Contra 3, the Alien Wars on Super Nintendo, because that game just looks really cool graphically, and the Alien Wars is a dope ass subtitle for a video game. So,
Yep.
need to check that one out eventually. I owned it on cartridge at one point, because I was doing this thing where I think it was one of the last Nintendo Powers had like a top 10 or top 20 list for every Nintendo console of like curated games that like Nintendo was like, these are the best games on the console, and I was trying to collect all those because I thought that'd be really cool, and that is how I kind of found out about Contra 3. So
You mentioned it before, but that's a cool idea. I feel like you mentioned that.
I think I have, but yeah, I need to go. The list is just floating somewhere online for sure if you look through an old Nintendo Power, but yeah, I thought that was a cool thing. I kind of want to do that again eventually. It's just getting those old games CIB will be very expensive. So,
Yeah.
Zach, what is your number 5 NES game?
My number 5 is the game on this list that I played the most recently, I believe, and that is Earthbound Beginnings.
Hmm.
I did not play this game until NSO. I didn't play it on Virtual Console. This is the one that was released like way after the fact in North America, right? Like,
Yes, so this game
Was it
was
released on
fully
Virtual Console?
localized and fully completed on cartridge for North America, and they canceled the release because it was too late. And they were like, it's not going to sell well because the Super Nintendo's out already. So,
yeah. And they released it on the Virtual Console, right, for Wii?
yes, for Wii U. They actually
For
announced
Wii U,
it.
okay.
Yeah, they announced it at when they did that weird Nintendo World Championship thing when they brought that back for a couple, like 2 years. The first year they did that, they had a big presentation with Shigesato Itoi, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm excited to announce not Mother 3, but Mother 1 is coming to North America."
That's
And
so
everybody was
awesome.
like, "All right, we'll take it. It's a step in the right
We'll take it.
direction." And
Yeah.
yeah, that was very exciting, especially because at the time I had already played all 3 Mother games. So for me, I was just like, oh, we're finally getting some Mother shit in America. I'll take it.
Yeah, to this day, it's still the only Mother game I've finished. I intend to finish the other 2. But yeah, I thought it was just a fun game. These games are... This one just feels like Dragon Quest, but like in a weird modern world, I guess. I think the first enemy you fight is like a lamp in your bedroom. It's just a really silly game. The end game is like it kind of gets grindy because shit gets like really hard. Like randomly, things are like really strong. And Craig, you mentioned it before. The last area, or I think the last couple areas, are pretty confusing if you don't have a guide.
Oh,
You
Mount
get, like, lost
Itoi
real
is
easy.
fucking insane.
Yeah, you get lost real easy. But I played with a guide, so I just up this way, down that way, and I did that. And otherwise, I didn't feel like grinding because I was at the point of that game where I was like, okay, well, I don't want to fight endless enemies for hours and hours. I'm just gonna look up how to get through here. I thought it was fun. It's pretty to the books RPG for the time. I mean, it is a Nintendo game, so. But if you want something weird and not too terribly long, I thought it was a good time.
Tyler,
it's on Switch. So.
Any experience with Mother 1, Earthbound Beginnings?
No. I gotta get into that series, man. I want to check it out just so I can talk to you about it. But
well, it's number 1 on my list. So Earthbound Beginnings is my number 1 pick. So we're already spoiling my number 1. But yes, a game with crossover on our list. Very exciting. Yes, it's like objectively I know that this isn't the best NES RPG. Objectively I know it's not a phenomenal game. But it means a lot to me. Obviously it was super duper unique at the time with its more modern day setting. It has a lot of very well composed and fantastic music. It has a lot of the charm, the humor, the cuteness of the other Mother games. And it's just, it's the start of what is my favorite video game series of all time, which is the Earthbound Mother series. Quirks and all. It has some really bad designed dungeons. It has some insane difficulty spikes. But it has a lot of cool, interesting, unique, funny moments and mechanics. Like any NES game that is not linear platforming, you're going to need a guide, honestly, or it's going to be almost impossible. But unfortunately, that's just how games were designed at the time, so I try to look at it through that lens. But there's just so many weird, interesting things. Like there's your temporary party member, Eve, the robot, which is one of my favorite RPG party members of all time. I guess I'm not going to spoil this game, even though it probably doesn't matter if I spoil it, so I won't say anything, but love Eve. I love when you're in a tank for a little while. It's this goofy little part of the game that was super unnecessary that they decided to put in.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of like weird, quirky one-off things. Teddy, which is one of the weirdest characters ever. Just so many little interesting things. Like you said, fighting the lamp. It's just, the start of the quirky, weird RPG. All the credit goes to Earthbound because that's the game that came out in America. It's the game that everyone played. But it's like Mother 1, Earthbound Beginnings set the blueprint. And it's definitely worth playing today, especially if you're a fan of Earthbound, to see where it started. And all things considered, good NES RPG. And eToy is just my favorite, kind of creator ever. So to see this kind of be, this being his first kind of like piece in the medium, it means a lot to me personally. So this is definitely a biased number 1 on my list, but I stand by it just on a personal level. It's a game that means a lot to me, even if I know that there are objectively better NES games. It's the one that matters most to me. So,
yeah, it's a really cool game. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I've gotten into the series, got my foot in the door.
Also, pretty interesting story and cool story for being a super old game. It has a very unique narrative, a very memorable and unique ending. A very memorable and unique final boss fight. Definitely worth checking out.
One thing that sticks out to me is, a funny moment is when you're wandering the desert, you can like step on a mine in the desert, and it's like, congratulations, you stepped on the mine in the desert, or something, and it's like signed by Toy.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing else to really it. Funny. It's just there.
Yeah, it's just funny that he like went out of his way to like put that there for some reason. But.
Yeah, that's what the Mother games are all about. Are, in my opinion, at least, what those games are all about are just moments. Like nothing to do with gameplay, nothing significant, just random pop-up things that stick with you. There's a lot of stuff like that, especially in Mother 3, which is my favorite game of all time. I know I was talking. I don't know how, but somehow last night I was talking to my wife about the Earthbound series for like 2 hours, and she's never played those games before. So, and she like she's either watched me play some of the games, not the whole way through, but parts, or she's watched like video essays on YouTube and stuff because she's like more of like a passive video game enjoyer. Like she likes the idea of them much more than actually playing them. And we were just like on the wavelength talking about these games. We're like, man, there really is nothing else like them. They're so good. And I will admit, though, Mother 1, Mother 2, Mother 3, never beaten any of them more than once. I've only ever actually finished all of them once. So I really want to try. I want to replay them, but I'm afraid, especially Mother 3, that I don't want my opinion to change. It's like my memory of that game is so solidified, And it's like, if I played it again and for some reason I didn't like it as much, I feel like it would break me. So I'm like afraid to do it. But I think eventually, I think it'd be cool if we did all three of them for this show, since they're all old enough. So I think it'd be, at least, for me, especially personally, it'd be a really cool reflection on my favorite video game series. So sorry for my rambles.
No, good. Yeah, that was great.
But yeah, so I guess I'll skip myself and then I'll do my 1 through 4, just so we could keep the triangle flow going. But yeah, Earthbound Beginnings was my number 1, because Tyler's a bitch and he's never played it. It's not going to be number 1 on the list. So
sorry, maybe in like 5 years we could redo the NES list, and then maybe.
No, actually, the funny thing is, if somehow we have no other crossover, Earthbound Beginnings can be number 1 on this list. We'll see.
It's true.
How funny would remasters of these lists be in like 5 years, and we just get the 15 different PS2 games?
I'm having a feeling me and Zach might have the same number 1, so I don't know.
I have a feeling your guys' number 1 is my number 2. So we'll see if I'm right.
Contra 2,
there.
Right?
Super C, actually. Good try.
God.
All right, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and give us your number 4?
All right, number 4, I'm going back to where it all started, and that's the original Super Mario Bros. I know my first time playing this was with my dad, and he was like showing me all the different, like, oh, you can skip the worlds like this and all that type of stuff, and just, seeing that was kind of cool. And I mean, it's where Mario all started. It's fun. It's hard as shit sometimes, but especially when you're getting in the groove, and then you're just constantly trying to run, then you just jump into a hole or some shit like that. Especially on World 8. Yep.
World 8's insane.
Dude. Like, I remember I did eventually beat that game, like, without, save states or anything, just myself. That took a long time, though. But I eventually did it, and I felt so accomplished. But
isn't there a trick where if you hold the start button during the game over screen, you continue from that world instead of starting over?
I think so. I found that out, like, after, But, yeah, I remember 2 games I wanted to like go back and do that in was the original Sonic and Mario Bros. And I ended up doing it for both. But I gotta say respect to you, like, people that play games back then. Those shits are hard, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, the original Sonic is insanely hard. That's mad respect that you could beat that.
Dude, that
those games back then, it's like those games are like an hour long, but like people would play that one game for like 50 hours, so you just became really good at it.
Be months and months of the same game.
Yeah.
Zach, what are some? I was gonna say thoughts on Mario 1.
I don't think I ever beat that game without save states until Nintendo World Championships. Because I had rolled credits by like. I would on the DS. I had on the 2DS on Virtual Console, and I would just like save state at a level, and if I died, I would just start the level over rather than the whole game again, because I didn't feel like starting the whole game again. But on Nintendo World Championships, by practicing to get a better time, I finally did beat it in one full go without dying, and that was a cool moment for me. I felt like I had vindicated myself. Quick question: if you beat Mario 1 within Nintendo World Championships, do you put Mario 1 on your games beaten list?
Yes, yes, you do.
I think I need to go update that on my list for last year. Then
I definitely would put that on there. It's a game within a game, but that's like if you play Yakuza and you play Virtua Fighter in Yakuza and you beat an arcade run in Virtua Fighter in Yakuza. I think you technically beat Virtua Fighter.
I need to go update my list then.
There you go.
But yeah, just really really fun game. The momentum is really funny. Like the way it works when if you like try to if you like jump backwards, you can like do some weird like different speeds with your jumps, and like sometimes you get caught in the air. Like you dedicate to a direction, then things aren't looking good. And you just have to decide you're gonna die there. I don't know. Hammer Bros are a pain in the ass. I've never figured them out to this day. I don't know how to like learn their patterns.
I don't think they have one. I think
random.
It is totally
just random. Yeah, they're pain in the ass. But
is this on your top 5 or no?
It's not. It's an honorable mention.
Fair enough. It's not on my top 5 either. But shout out to Mario 1. Mario 1 probably has one of the most cleverly designed first levels of a video game ever, so credit where credit is due. Teaches you everything you know about it on the very first, 2 screens, which is incredible how they were able to do that. Obviously, very catchy music, well designed, just very basic because, it's kind of the first of its kind, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good game. Whenever
Hey, Greg.
Yes?
What type of overalls does Mario wear?
What?
Denim.
Got him. Zach is unenthused.
Yeah, okay.
I'm only mad because I didn't think of that first.
But yeah, it's of course a very good classic game. I didn't beat it without level skips until I was much older, and then I also felt very accomplished when I was actually able to beat it. First time I beat it was on Nintendo Switch Online. But like,
without level skips, like beating every level in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done that.
Oh, really?
I've only done through the level
so
skips.
you
I've never
didn't
gone
beat
through
it then.
every. Yeah, I
Put it
did.
on your list.
Take that off your list. Take that shit off.
Whoa!
You
I
skipped half
beat
the game.
I don't care. I rolled. What do you mean? Since when is that a criteria to beat every level to beat the game? What is that?
I'm
the
gonna
rule set?
boot up a game, use a cheat code to get to the final boss, and I beat the game.
If you ask most people who have beaten Mario 1, most people have beaten it through skipping to World 8. How many people have played 32 levels of that game and beaten them all like that?
Me and Tyler, real fucking gamers here.
No. I beat the game.
66% of this podcast, or 66.6 of this
funny.
podcast has beaten.
I refuse to accept a loss on that. I beat that game.
Why don't you play without level skips though? Why not?
I don't know. I mean,
He was just going for that time. That's why.
yeah. I mean, maybe I. Let's see. Did I beat it? I don't remember when I played it through Virtual Console if I did each level and just save state after each one. I don't remember if I did that or not.
I need everybody to sound off in the comments on this one. Did Zach beat Mario 1?
Since when is that a criteria for beating a game to beat every level?
Dude, you skipped half the
It's
game.
a linear platformer.
I didn't know that was a rule here.
I don't know how
It's
I
like
feel
doing
about
some
this.
kind of boundary break and getting to the last level and just beating it. And
It's like I would argue that
Yeah, have I
the
beaten
speed run
Spyro?
route-
Was it Year of the Dragonfly or whatever? Because I glitched into the lair of the final boss and beat the final boss and the credits rolled. Did I beat the game?
That's completely different. This is like a legitimate path the game sets in front of you to do.
This is not set in front of you. It's a secret.
Listen,
Well, it's not like I'm glitching.
You skipping half of the game is like beating Sonic Story and Sonic Adventure and saying you beat the game because you're skipping half the game.
No, that's not true. That's
all the other
not true.
stories are pretty short and they kind of add up to like Sonic Story. So I mean, it's kind of
These
kinda
are
like skipping half
parts.
the game.
This is a mechanic in the game that is super famous, and part of the way you play this game is skipping around the world. You can't tell me
Is
this because
is that part of the game? Is that the experience?
I would say that finding the secrets and skipping is once you know them, it's that's part of the game. That is
Would
part
you
of the
guys
experience.
be mad if I called somebody on the stream right now?
No,
on this
by all
recording?
means, do it. Call them.
All right,
I'm not saying
you guys are gonna
that.
have to find out who I call.
I'm not
but-
saying that beating every level is the weird way to play the game. I'm saying that using the level skips is not beating the game.
You know
It is
you and I,
insane
we
thing to
both
say.
log every game we beat, right? We've talked about this.
Yeah.
On
yeah.
my log, I have Super Mario Brothers in parentheses, no level skips.
Well,
Hello, Mr. Bird Dog Gaming. You are live on Generations Behind right now. I needed a lifeline for this. We are having a heated argument, and I asked the boys if it was okay.
don't tell him who
if
said
I-
what. Don't tell him who
Yeah,
said what. So
we
he's not
have
biased.
no
I'm
biases.
not going to say names. I'm just going to tell you what the question is, or what the statement is, and I need you to tell me if it qualifies. So, we're talking about, NES games. That's our topic. So, Mario 1 came up. If you beat Mario 1, but you skip half the game with warp, pipe skips, can that count as your game's beaten? Or do you have to beat the game with all the levels to count?
Unfortunately, it does count if you skip the levels.
You. Why would it not? Why would it not count?
You decided it was Zach.
Rare occurrence.
he's on
Christian's
my
just
side
like
because we're
when the
getting ready.
worst person you know makes a good point.
Craig saying when the worst person you know makes a point.
That's funny.
Okay.
Christian's already getting ready to debate y'all with Mario things. He's already practicing being
He's
on
ready.
my side.
Yeah, Zach said you're already practicing to be on his side for when
Needs
we
to
do
form
Sonic
an
Adventure.
alliance.
Did
Wild
you
take,
ever beat
guys.
the original Mario with all the worlds?
Me, yeah.
Oh, well, he still did it
See,
though.
so he's a real gamer.
I don't think that's weird. I think that's great that y'all did that. I think using the warp skips is a completely legitimate way to play the game.
For what it's worth, I'm not actually that passionate about it. I just think it's funny that you got really offended.
If you play Breath of the Wild, and you just go beat Gan at the start, would you say you didn't beat the game?
I guess help. You didn't side with
guess.
me either, but thank you.
No, honestly, I'm kind of on your side, Zach. Too. I see it as two completely different ways of experiencing the game. I guess that's the better way of putting it.
It's complete. It's a whole different way to play the game. In my opinion, it's not glitched. They want you to find these skips.
No, it's
so
not a glitch
legitimate
at
way to
all.
play it.
But definitely kind of like a secret or a cheat, almost more than the intended experience, in my opinion.
Guys, I just want to say I really thought Christian was going to say no.
So did I. I was kind of shocked at that.
He said, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it can't. Because he probably knew that it was Zach. That's the funny part. He's like, Zach's definitely the one doing level skips.
100% he knew that. The reason I like doing the level skips because this is probably my favorite speedrun to watch. Mario 1, I think they're like less than a second away from like the theoretical best time possible, like the task time.
Yeah.
And the record's like 4 minutes and 53 seconds
Is
or
it that
54
low
seconds.
now?
Like
That's
that.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
Man.
My time on NES World Championships was like 6.5 or something like that.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. I'm going to be there soon enough. But yeah, just a really cool game, and I'm glad that I've beaten the game. I'm going to go update my list now.
There you go. Put it on the list. We'll allow it. The council rules in favor.
Yeah, I guess so. Zach won this one, but he's not going to win our freaking video competition, I'll tell you that.
So funny.
We'll see.
All right. So
we're going to think some good things.
Next up, this will be your number 4, correct, Zach?
Yeah, was it also not on your list?
No,
Craig?
it was not mine either.
Okay. My number 4 is one of the, I think like 3 games on the list that I've actually played on a actual NES, and that is Kirby's Adventure.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned that one of the places I played the NES growing up was at one of my friend's house, and this was the game that I remember playing with him. I don't know if he had other games, but I know he had Kirby's Adventure for sure. And it's hard to say. Like we were like 6, so I tell myself we beat the game. We could have beat one world. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I tell myself that we played through the whole game. But it's a super fun game. A lot of the 2D Kirby's feel very similar. Like in my head, they're kind of hard to like differentiate them. They all have a pretty similar like structure, and they look. They have like Kirby's Adventure and Kirby. What's the one of the Game Boy called?
Dreamland.
Dreamland. I feel like they look very similar. They have a similar structure. I guess the big thing about Adventure, that's the first one that had the copy abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Dreamland didn't. You just sucked up enemies and shot them out as a star.
Or just flew at the top of the stage for 20 minutes and beat the game.
Whoop. Yeah, that game is like a 20-minute game. Adventure's a little longer than that. Adventure has some actual depth to it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this game is even in Nintendo World Championships, they preserved the fact that like when things get busy on the screen, it chugs like a mofo. The game just like stops working.
There's nothing like when you do the star rod attack and it goes at like 4 frames a second.
Yep. And it's not even like a frame. It's like it slows the game down. It like
Everything,
stops.
yeah.
But it is a very good looking NES game. It came out like 2 years after the SNES had already come out. So really late release, which is like what Kirby loves to do, is come out like really late into a console's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super fun game. One that I have gone back to through NSO just to replay through. And I think everyone I think you should play Kirby's Adventure or Dreamland just to like get appreciation for these games. They're very short, and I think they still hold up for the most part.
Kirby's Adventure, number 3 on my list. So
Hell yeah!
I very much enjoyed Kirby's Adventure. It's no Kirby 64, but it's a fantastic time. Absolutely love it. Like we said, the first time to have the copy abilities, that was obviously, set the standard for Kirby games going forward. One of the most replayable Kirby's because it's, the difficulty is very, very low. Kirby's obviously pretty easy overall anyway, but it's nice, short, sweet. Obviously adorable because it's Kirby, but just a good short romp of a game. Definitely replayable. This is when Kirby started to do the thing, though, I believe, where you had to basically 100% the game to get the true final boss, and I hate that that's a thing in Kirby, because 100% in Kirby games is annoying, since you can't usually backtrack through the levels. It's like, you miss a collectible, and then you have to start over, and that's just annoying. So, that's my biggest beef with Kirby, but that's like a series problem, just not an adventure problem. But if I were to rank all the Kirby games I played, which has, I think, a majority of them, this would probably be like number 3 overall. So behind 64 and Planet Robobot, I really enjoy this one a lot. So
I remember struggling against Meta Knight as a kid, and then when I had to fight him in Nintendo World Championships, I'm like, okay, now I get my revenge. And all you do is just spam the sword, and he just dies
instantly.
Yeah, it's like, that wasn't a fight. I just spammed the B button for 4 seconds and he died.
Good old Meta Knight.
Yep.
I want to play, because I've never played either Nightmare in Dreamland, which is kind of like a remake for the Game Boy Advance. I want to check that out.
I have Nightmare in Dreamland, yeah.
Have you played
Good
it?
Game. Yep.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than the fact that I know I've played it and I own it. But that was one of the first Game Boy Advance games I had.
If it's still Kirby's Adventure at the end of the day, then it's a good game. So, yeah. All right, Tyler. Guess we're on to your number 3. We'll never know what my number 5 or number 4 is at this point. So, I'm going to be doing my lowest rated games last.
Did I put for number 3? Okay, I gotcha.
What you got?
So my number 3 is a series I started. I don't think it was last year. I think it was actually 2 years ago. And I played it specifically on the collection on the PS4 because it was on sale for really cheap. It was like $3. So it had save states, but I was like, I want to beat this one without save states. And that's Castlevania 1. Castlevania 1 was a great time. I remember having a hell of a time at death. But, it's great platforming. It's great. The music's great. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, so good.
But dude, there were so many points where I was just like, I want to use the save states, but I'm not going to. But I kind of had Jason watching me, and he was kind of helping me. He was like, "Yo, hit that block right there." He was like, "Hit that block right there, and you'll get food." And I was like, "What? The one right here?" And he was like, "Yeah,
not quite like the wall chicken."
Yeah, the wall chicken, bro. Dude, and then he was telling me the best things to use against certain bosses and stuff. So it kind of helped, because if not, I probably would have struggled a hell of a lot more. But
no, yeah, it's a
hard. Did you really beat the game if someone was telling you how to beat it? Did you really beat it? Or I don't think.
Yeah, I went through every single level and didn't skip a single one.
Let me call Christian and see if he thinks if someone was telling you how to beat it, if it would count.
He would say that it's cheating. To be fair, he would.
He would say it's cheating. It wouldn't.
But yeah, Castlevania is hard as fuck. It's so good, but it is incredibly difficult. When I beat it, I definitely did use save states. So. But I had a good time with it. Oh,
it went out.
Cat
I was real tempted on death. Death was because every time I died, I had to go right back to the beginning of the level. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's the best part about Castlevania is that it's 12 minutes long. It is so short if you're good at the game.
That's the thing I can't personally get over with the old Castlevanias is I hate getting to the end of a level and dying and starting the whole thing over. It pisses me off like nothing else.
It's rough. But very, very tightly designed. He feels really good to control. The delay on the whip, I think, is one of the most interesting choices ever in game design. Like how when you hit the button, you don't attack right away. You go, he has to do the whole animation before it actually happens. So the way that you have to time that out. When you jump and you move, you're committed to your momentum that you did. You can't turn or stop or do anything like that. the way that your movement was it was implemented was like very, very deliberate and interesting. And I've always thought that was kind of neat about Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania. I need to go back and play the others, especially because I eventually want to get to 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I only beat 1, and then I went and played Kid Dracula, and I beat Kid Dracula.
That's funny. Those are the 2 Castlevanias I have also beaten.
Really?
Yeah,
Sounds like a Simon's Quest episode coming up.
Hell yeah. Kid Dracula almost made... That's one of my honorable mentions I'll gonna mention later. That almost made my top 5. Kid Dracula is really cool. The ending is just so unfairly hard that it knocks it down a peg for me. When you're fighting that, like, stupid wolf thing in the final level.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, yeah, that's just... I remember that being insanely hard, and I was just like, ugh. And you know what? I played that game through Amazon Luna, so that also might have been part of my problem.
That's disgusting.
I had a free trial, so I wanted to try it. And I was like, man, this thing sucks. It's not nearly as good as Google Stadia. And then I never used it again.
Amazon Luna. Did you get a Luna controller?
No, but I have my Stadia controller on the ready at all times. It is my dedicated controller for PC gaming. Best controller ever made. Stadia.
Sad.
You just don't get it.
I'm a big Luna controller guy.
You can still buy it. Amazon Luna still exists, just nobody uses it. They have a fairly active subreddit, though. Because I joined it. Zach, what is your number 3?
This is the one game on the list that I think I'm like kind of cheating on, because first of all, it's a Famicom game, and I played an English translation of it, and it was this right here, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light. So I played the English translation they re-released in 2021, something like that. And I think it counts because while they did add speed up to the game, it is otherwise a 1-for-1 port of the game. It is the same game. There's no changes to difficulty or clunkiness. It's just they added some speed up. So I'm still going to count that.
No, 100%. I'm with you.
Count that, but I don't think you can count that as games beaten. It's kind of cheating.
Yeah, because you played through it twice as fast.
Big Fire Emblem fan. This is obviously the first one. I did purchase the Famicom copy. It's in that glass case over there. I have a Famicom copy of the original game, which I thought was a cool thing to have. Oh yeah, super cool. But yeah, some funny things about this game. Very early on, there's a level, I don't know, a third of the way through the game, where there's infinitely respawning like cavalry units, and you can just bottleneck the spot with Marth and keep buying the infinitely repurchasable rapiers, which do like basically one-shot cavalry, and you can just grind Marth up to the max level. So I remember I think I did this. I was listening to a podcast, drinking, and then just like on speed up, just like grinding him up to max level.
Hell yeah.
For like an hour or two, something like that. And I was like, this is what gaming's all about. This is what it's about.
There's nothing more fun than breaking video games. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. I agree. But otherwise, I mean, it is the first Fire Emblem. It is pretty clunky. Had I not been playing with, when you turn off the speed up, it is like, oh, what is this? It's like so slow. And the music also sounds off because they speed up the music too when you play it. They don't like keep the music at like a normal speed. Mm-hmm. So I just got used to how the music sounded, and then when I turned it back, it was like almost made me throw up with how slow it was. Another quirky thing about this game is the last boss can only be hurt by 2 characters. One of them is Marth, but with Marth you have to. They do this really weird thing. The main like canonical weapon that he needs, the falchion, it's possible to not get it. You can just not get it. There's like a chapter before, there's a guy who has like clones of himself, and you have to like kill the right one to get the actual weapon. And otherwise you can get like a fake one that just like doesn't work against the last boss. But to remedy that, they give you a character at the end of the game that can hurt the last boss, but like that character can just die. So it's possible to just like
lock yourself out of beating the game.
Well, what happens? You have to just start the last chapter over because you will start the last chapter with that character, But if they die in the chapter and you just make it through the whole thing to the last boss and they're dead, you're out of luck. I mean, there's no, it doesn't tell you you can't beat the boss anymore. It just,
All right. I want to
You
see
just
if I
can't.
could guess the character. Is it Tiki?
oh, it's Tiki, yeah.
Yes, that was a good guess.
Um, yeah.
I had a feeling because I remember obviously Tiki in Awakening, but I was like, I'm pretty sure she was in the original game too. So
yeah.
I remember that link being there. So
Because there's Tiki. I'm trying to remember if there's also another version of like a no, it's just Tiki. I think it's a different game I'm thinking
because
of.
Tiki.
Oh yeah, Nagi. Nagi is that, but that's Shadow Dragon. Never mind.
I was gonna say because I
DS
think
game.
Tiki is like one of the only like maybe 2 or 3 characters that's in more than one game besides Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, right?
Yeah, so like for the lore's sake, Fire Emblem 1, 2, 3, and then Awakening, they're all in the same world.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess also Echoes if you count it, but so Tiki is like a infinitely old dragon, so she shows up throughout the whole timeline, basically. But yeah, Tiki, you have to have her to beat the last boss, or you have to have the Falchion.
And
if you don't
can't
have
you not
those,
recruit Tiki as well?
yeah. So if you don't, I'm trying to remember. This is why we're a little fuzzy. If it's the
I
DS
remember at
remake
one
or the
point
original.
I was looking at a guide for the DS version of Shadow Dragon. That's the only reason I know any of this.
Yeah, so Shadow Dragon on the DS, if you don't get Tiki, you get Nagi, and Nagi is just like another dragon. But I can't remember. I don't think the original does it. I think if you don't get Tiki, you're
just
screwed.
That's
Yeah,
so
I think you're just screwed.
How unforgiving. How long is this
Oh, it's
game?
so
Like, if you were to just play through it, is it pretty dang long?
without speed up. Yeah, it's a slow, like tiresome game. I wouldn't recommend playing it without speed up, but also you can't purchase it through Nintendo anymore because they're weird.
Yeah,
So the speed up version was only on sale for like 3 months for $5, mind you. Like they weren't making a killing off of it. It's so dumb.
Except for the cool special edition, which I also have.
Yeah, this was just a code in the box too. It wasn't even a cartridge.
But it came with all that interesting stuff.
Yeah, very odd decision of them to translate this game for a big series of theirs and then sell it for 3 months.
So weird.
But yeah,
Well,
good game.
maybe Intelligent Systems was just like, please.
Please just let people play it.
Tyler, any thoughts on the original Fire Emblem?
I've yet to play it, so
Me too. I've played it, but I haven't beaten it. I've that and Gaiden. I've both played a few like the first couple of chapters, but I never got super far in them. So
I'm looking at the sprites for the characters now. There's some cool looking character sprites in here, and by cool I mean really bad, but charming in their own way.
hell yeah. All right, so my number 5, since didn't talk about those yet. My number 5 is Disney's The Little Mermaid.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be on.
Everybody
this list.
makes fun of me for my weird NES picks, but I don't care. The Little Mermaid is so fun. It is like a solid 40-minute, like side-scrolling kind of like action-y game, and it's just a really good time. It has the music from the movie, so it's nice, catchy 8-bit versions of the Little Mermaid music. It's the game that inspired Klonoa. I'm convinced, even though I have no definitive proof of that, because the way that you get your enemy, you fight in the Klonoas, you pick up your enemies, you put them into little balls, and then you throw them at other enemies, and that is what you do in the Little Mermaid. You encapsulate your enemies into little bubbles, and then you pick them up and you throw them at things. And it's a great mechanic. It's very fun. It's a very easy game. So since it's short and easy, very replayable. Really fun to just jump into. You know, you could knock it out in an hour, have a good time. The sprite work is really cool. It has a fun, interesting color palette for an NES game. Lots of pinks and purples, which you don't see very often, and like lighter greens, which is cool. So, you know, you guys laugh, but it is a very fun game, and I still think that it's definitely worth checking out and playing.
If you're comparing it to Klonoa, I think I gotta try it.
Well, we've talked about it on the show before. The reason I played it originally was because we were doing a video on unlicensed games, and I was like, I'm just gonna play a bunch of old licensed games, and that was one of the ones I tried like on a whim and really enjoyed it. So shout out to The Little Mermaid. I really want to get a complete in-box copy of it. Not too expensive, so that's a goal of mine, is to get a CIB Little Mermaid on NES.
I was just checking when this came out. This is also a really late release for the NES.
Oh, was it?
Because I was like, didn't Little Mermaid come out like not too far before this? And
that's fair.
Yeah, the movie came out. The movie came out in '89, which is already like 4 years after the NES, and the game came out in '91, which I think is the same year as the SNES.
Interesting. Yeah, so. I didn't even think about that. I also didn't. I'm stupid and didn't think about it, but I always thought that The Little Mermaid was much later in time too, but I guess that wouldn't have made sense for there to be an NES game if the game came out way later in time.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what? Am I missing something here? Let's go. But yeah, 89 and 91 were the movie and the show.
So, yeah.
Sorry,
everyone
the movie
out
and the
there,
game, respectively.
Make sure you go check out Little Mermaid on NES. You won't regret it. Tyler, what is your number 2? Yeah, we're at your number 2.
I was looking at pictures of The Little Mermaid. My number 2 is drumroll. So it's a game I played with Jonathan. It is a beat 'em up, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Because that game is really fun. Me and Jonathan played through that one. We beat it together. Probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups. It's pretty solid. It's better than the first one, I would say. The arcade games, great music, Pizza Power, Raphael all the way, but he usually picks Raphael, so I can't pick Raphael. So then, who'd I usually pick? I think I picked Leo then. But yeah, so it's a great beat 'em up. You guys ever play the arcade game? Specifically the arcade game one?
I think I've played it at an arcade, but the only one I've played like all the way through is the most recent one that came out. Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, I played through Shredder's Revenge all the way through.
Yeah, I have not played the NES version of TMT Arcade, but I've played the literal arcade version via the Cowabunga collection. And it was really good. I had a good time with it. It's very fun. The sprite work was really cool. I would love to play the NES version eventually, just so I could compare and see the differences. From what I could tell, seems like it's pretty faithful in that really the main difference is just graphical. So it's kind of cool that they were able to almost like make a demake of the arcade game for home consoles. And I remember, obviously wasn't alive at the time, but I've heard, stories from people that the main reason they did that was because people thought that they were getting the arcade game when they made the first TMNT game on NES, and they were so disappointed that it wasn't that's why they made TMNT 2 Arcade. Which is kind of interesting that they were like listening to fan feedback that they were upset that it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So kind of interesting. But yeah, the Cowabunga collection, very cool collection of games. It was available included with the PlayStation Plus subscription a few months ago, so that's how I got it. Didn't have to pay any extra for it. And I kind of I plan on playing through almost all the games on there. I'd like to eventually. I am not an experienced Turtles fan. I've played the arcade game, Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy, and I've seen the movie, the animated one from a few years ago, Mutant Mayhem, which was fantastic. But other than that, no TMNT experience. So.
You ever played
Turtles? I feel like
Turtles?
this has come up before. I was yeah.
Time is great.
Yeah, I've never played Turtles in Time either. But that's also in the collection, both the arcade version and the Super Nintendo version. So,
I think this is a pretty commonly known thing, but I just think it's really cool. I'm going to say it anyway. About like why each turtle has their weapon, like why they were given the weapon they were given. And Splinter gave them weapons to make them they were like opposite of their personalities. So like Raphael's like an angry, like aggressive type, so he gets the size, so like a small defensive parry weapon. And then Donatello's the smartest one, so he gets a bow staff. It's just like the most simple. It's like literally like a stick. Mikey is a childish and can't pay attention, so he gives them nunchucks because they're really hard to focus with. And then Leonardo is like the leader and like the most responsible, so he gives him the one weapon that can kill people. Just gives him 2 katanas. So, because he knows the weight of killing someone or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that was cool.
Yes. He has to live with the sins that he's
He
committed.
has to live with that, so he's the only one that can be trusted with 2 katanas.
How funny. Yeah, I would like to watch, because I've never seen like any of the old cartoons or the live action movies that people love. I'd love to kind of check some of that stuff out eventually. Seems like it's a fun time.
Have you heard the theme song?
Turtles,
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
I do know the theme song.
Turtles in a half shoe. Turtle power.
And if you guys haven't seen Mutant Mayhem, that was a very, very good movie. I would definitely recommend that. Had one
I
of my
heard good things
favorite
about
art
it.
and animation styles I've ever seen in an animated film. So,
I have to check it out.
to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Zach, I think we're at your number 2.
Correct. This was maybe the first NES game I ever played. I played it at my babysitter's house when I was very young. I was probably 4. And I remember not really actually even playing the game. I probably just wandered around the starting area, but the original Legend of Zelda. I know, Craig, you hate this game famously.
I do not hate it. It's dramatic. I'm critical of it.
I know all things in all seriousness. So yeah, the game definitely has some warts and it definitely has some issues. And it's like very like there's no real rhyme or reason why some things are the way they are. Like that bush, the bush you have to just burn.
I bring it up every time.
There's no real reason to do that other than just knowing to do that. But yeah, I think it's a fun game. I like I said, I played it at a very young age, and then I played it through on the 2DS when I was a little older. I actually played it all the way through for the first time, and I did use a guide for the last couple dungeons, I think, because the last dungeon, Death Mountain's nonsense.
Oh, it's insane.
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's no real. It's another thing. It's like, oh, bomb this wall because, and it's like, okay.
Remember
well,
when we gave you hints on how to bomb walls early in the game? Fuck you, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it was just bomb random walls and
See what
down
happens.
this random staircase that goes somewhere else, and you have to have the silver arrow or you can't hurt Ganon. And so, yeah, it definitely has some issues, but like with like modern, like with the internet, like being able to look up a guide and playing through this game, I think it is a fun game to play through using all the tools available to you. I also think it's really cool that there was a second quest in the game for a game that old. You beat it, you can play it again with like mixed up. I think it's the dungeons or the items are in different places. One of the two, but it remixes the game, which is like basically like a take on a New Game Plus back on the NES, which is a really cool idea. But yeah, I think this game, I think it'd be really cool if Nintendo did like a $20 remake of the original Zelda and just like cleaned it up a little bit, pointed to some of the quirks where you wouldn't get so lost, and just like re-released it as like a, cheap little NSO thing. Because I think the game has a lot of good qualities, just held back by some problems of its era, where they wanted you to talk to people on the playground and wanted you to buy guidebooks and wanted you to call their Nintendo Power phone line and stuff. So, but cool game.
Yes, it is cool. It's pretty much the first open world game, which is something pretty phenomenal and interesting on itself. But very iconic, great music, great sprite work. Like I said, the open world aspects are really cool. Extraordinarily convoluted, but I agree with you. If you playing in 2025, you pull up a guide on your web browser, have absolutely no problems. It's a good time. So, but even then, still pretty dang difficult. So I think people downplay how hard this game is, because everyone acts like Zelda 2
tough.
is insanely difficult, and I'm like, I feel like Zelda 1's just as hard, honestly. The Dark Nuts are ridiculous.
And it's extremely punishing when you die. Even if you have like 20 hearts, when you die, you start with 3 hearts every time.
Yeah, and it's like,
pisses me off
good
like
luck
nothing
getting all those hearts filled back up, buddy.
Sucks. One thing, I'm probably going to butcher this fun fact, but it was in a Did You Know Gaming video. The song, like the Legend of Zelda theme song, like the famous one, the game, like right up until right before release, like I'm thinking like a couple weeks before release, they had a different song as the title song, but it was just like they took it from somewhere, they sampled it from some other song. I think it's called like Bolero. And basically they were told like, oh, you can't release the game with that song in it because it's like it's going to get copyright. Like someone owns that song, you can't do it. So Koji Kondo just like came up with the Legend of Zelda theme song like overnight one time. He just like made the Legend of Zelda theme song and like that.
Casually
And now
creates
it's like
one
this,
of the most
now
famous
it's-
songs ever.
Yeah, and you might do your own like little Google search there just to like get the details, but I'm pretty sure I got like at least 75% of that story correct.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Koji Kondo, definitely one of the goats, along with Mr.
Yep.
Miyamoto, of course.
Real quick, I want to throw in like a little story, a little fun little story.
Of course.
So it
hit
doesn't
us.
involve the original Zelda, but Zach mentioned the tip line. Remember the one time I was at Jason's house, like probably like 2 years ago or something like that, and I was just looking at his collection, and then I pulled out Majora's Mask, and it had like a number to call to get like a strategy guide or something, you know. And I was like, I wonder if this number still works, right? So I called it, and it actually goes to some Nintendo office.
How
And I was
funny.
like, yeah, hi, I'm just calling in regards to, I was going through my games that I have, and I seen on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of, no, not Ocarina, Majora's Mask on the N64 that I can get a free strategy guide, and I was just wondering if you guys were still offering that. Dude, and she was literally like, oh yeah, I could check into that for you, da 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 da, and I was like, alright,
She
awesome,
pushed
you
you
know?
on hold. She's like, this fucking
Dude,
idiot.
dude, I got put on hold, and it was actually Zelda music, which was kind of
That's
fitting.
funny.
Then I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and then eventually she came back and she was like, "So yeah, unfortunately that offer ended quite a long time ago, so there's nothing I could do." I was like, "Yo, what if I actually get something like for free? You know, that'd be kind of funny."
Just for asking.
But yeah. But then she was like, "No, but there's anything else I could help you with, you know?" And then I know Ganon's not the final boss, but I was like, "No, unless you can give me some tips to help beat Ganon." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I struggled with that one myself too." And I was like, "Bitch, that's not even the final boss." And but
She was
yeah,
trying.
it was
100
I was trying so hard not to laugh when talking about that. I was like, "Yeah, just got this copy here," and I was wondering if I can get the strategy guide.
She would 100% put you on hold and just like rotated, just like kept talking to her coworkers for like 5 minutes, then went back and
She's like, oh yeah.
unmuted you. It was like,
She's like, "Can you believe this motherfucker?"
Yeah, it was either that, and she was super rude, or she was like this just really sincere lady that has no idea and works at the Nintendo call center. Like,
She was
for
just
all
like,
she
"Oh,
knows,
yeah."
Majora's Mask came out yesterday.
She looks it up and she's just like, "Whoa, that long ago?
That's funny.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore."
That's awesome.
how cool of a job must that have been to be the Nintendo call center person that was like telling people how to beat games?
How do you get a job like that? That's the thing.
I don't know.
People
It's
live.
like, "Yeah, let me whip it out right now and I'll get here for you."
All right.
That's what-
Fuck. What is this? My number 4. We never went
Yeah,
over
number
my
4.
number 4. So my number 4 is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, ladies and gentlemen. The Tom Sawyer like
yes.
genre needs to make a comeback. There's nothing quite like it. It's really good.
When- I was complaining buy a copy at the convention. You didn't buy it.
I know, but it was in rough shape. I wish I would have bought it. I didn't. But Tom Sawyer is like a 2D side-scrolling kind of like action game. Think Castlevania, but your weapon is projectile. But the movement feels very similar to Castlevania. It's not really that much to it that I could explain other than it's just goofy. It's funny because it's like the whole game is a dream. You're whatever his name, falling asleep in class, and the whole game is your dream. And it's only like 4 or 5 levels. It's another short game that's pretty easy, but it has really good catchy music, really cool and unique sprite work. Specifically, there's this really cool boss where you fight a giant alligator, and the sprite work is just really detailed and cool, and that always stuck out to me. But just another kind of random, kind of like more forgotten NES game that no one talks about. Super solid design, short and sweet and easy, and it's a heavy recommend for me because when I play NES games, that's kind of like my go-tos. I like fun, breezy experiences that I could beat in one sitting. And Tom Sawyer fits that mold like Little Mermaid does.
Nice.
I've got to kill this bug before Gus eats it. Continue talking.
Okay. So yeah, Tom Sawyer. We need to bring back the Tom Sawyer like. It is a underrated genre.
Every time you bring up Tom Sawyer, it reminds me of that like Fairly Odd Parents episode.
Oh my god, that
Like,
is the thing. I
channel
totally forgot
surfing?
about that.
Yeah,
But-
they're doing that channel surfing and they find Tom Sawyer or whatever.
That was an underrated episode of Fairly Odd Parents.
Dude, it was. They went to so many like things that they were. What's that word? Like cameo,
Channel
I
surfing?
guess, but
Yeah,
not
just
like
parodies and
cameo.
stuff.
Yeah, parodies. That's kind of what I was looking for.
Fairly
Yeah.
Odd Parents used to be very funny. The first couple of seasons of that show were actually excellent. It went
I used
downhill
to
really
love-
fast, but
Yeah, I used to love when they did the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour thing.
that was back before crossover
Mhm.
porn was a thing. Before everything was a multiverse, we had the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. And the Jimmy Neutron or Timmy just looked absolutely disgusting in the Jimmy Neutron artwork with his big
He
ass head.
looked disgusting.
He looked so ugly.
in that.
Even as a kid, I was like, this just doesn't work. Like, Jimmy and all those characters in 2D is perfectly fine, but Timmy in 3D was repulsive.
Did not look good.
I don't know. Butch Hartman
Yeah.
just had to make it happen, so.
Did they do like 3 of those? I think.
I think there is 2 or 3, yeah, and I remember they were an event when we were kids. I remember being excited for them, like looking forward to it legitimately, so.
I
Yeah.
remember going to the Jimmy Neutron movie. Like when
Oh,
that
me
came
too.
out.
That was a weird movie in retrospect.
Wasn't it before the show?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't it?
And then
okay.
they made the show afterwards. Presumably because it was super popular.
What was
believe-
like he was originally supposed to be? It was like something Quasar. Or
I think it was
something
Jimmy
like that.
Quasar.
Jimmy Quasar.
The pilot for that leaked. I think it was a few years ago.
Mhm.
That was one of the things that kind of like the lost media community was heavily trying to find for a very long time, and they were able to find it. So that's something that I used to follow very closely, but I haven't in a few years now. Is just like lost media. I used to be super into following like lost media. I'd spend hours and hours and hours on the lost media wiki and follow all the YouTubers that cover lost media and stuff. It's a very fascinating part of the internet.
I agree.
Very interesting where people come across stuff, because like sometimes these things will just be like on YouTube, but like, you know, under a weird name, it has like 20 views, so you just never be able to find it, and then someone comes across it after looking for like 10 years. Super weird. It's good stuff. All right, enough about Tom Sawyer and Lost Media and Jimmy Neutron Power Hour. Tyler, what is your number 1 NES game?
I feel like all of our last game might be the same game.
Probably.
In Super Mario Bros. 3?
Yep.
Zach?
No, actually, mine was a balloon fight.
Shut the fuck up.
It was Super Mario Bros. 3.
All right, so is that's both of your guys' number 1 then?
Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
Yep.
You were so close to winning this Earthbound Beginnings. So close.
So Craig, I'm so confused on what numbers you are. So what number is Super Mario Bros. 3 for you?
That was my number
Number
2.
Okay, so we went 1, 3, 5.
Almost a clean
4.
sweep.
Almost.
Damn, that's crazy.
Sorry.
None of y'all picked any
My
of my other
biases
4
took it
games.
away.
The Super Mario Bros. 3 we both had. It's kind of funny.
It's tough because it's like, you know, we talk about our honorable mentions. It's like Mario 1, Mario 2, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Castlevania, you know, all these different things. Mega Man 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of stuff, but
I really thought you were gonna have Panic Restaurant on your list.
that was also an honorable mention. It was on the list originally until I started thinking about it more. Little Samson, even though I've never finished it, would be on honorable mentions. There's a lot of good stuff, but 5 is tough when you have so many good games to pick from. But Mario 3, number 4. So Tyler, since this is your number 1 and you brought it up, why don't you go ahead and talk about it first?
I mean, Mario 3, what more can you say? They took everything from Mario 1, they improved it tenfold, made a fantastic platformer. Again, nailed the music, the level designs, great. They added all like the Tanuki ability, great. And yeah, just overall, it's a good time. It's a great game. It's definitely a classic. If you haven't played it, you should definitely play it because it's kind of one of the main games that revolutionized, I feel, platforming as we know it. 2D platforming as we know it. But
It's crazy how much games were changing back then so quickly that Mario 1 and Mario 3 are on the same system.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like-
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
wait, I got a real quick question. Zach, have you beat Mario 3 like from all the levels?
I have. I think that game's a little less clear on doing the full skip, but the full skip is very weird in that one. You have to like fly over like a weird part of a castle. Like from inside the level, you have to have like the raccoon suit and like fly off the screen and like find the gap to find the second whistle. It's very weird, but you can beat the game in like 9 minutes, which is pretty crazy.
Well, Zach, tell us some of your thoughts on your this is your number one game as well. So
Yeah, so Mario 3 is like, if you look at my favorite 2D Marios, between Mario 3 and Mario World, it's like 1A and 1B. I think Mario 3 is more often 1B. I think Mario World kind of edges it out. Gun to my head, most of the time I say Mario World's my favorite 2D Mario. But Mario 3 is definitely in the conversation. I love Tanuki Mario, have a freaking Tanuki Mario statue. It's my Mario Kart main. I just, for some reason, Mario in a Tanuki suit really gets me going for some. I don't really understand it. But
gets you going.
Gets me going. But yeah, just super solid game, and so many cool power ups they added. Like Mario 1, you had the Fire Flower and the Star, and then Mario 2 didn't really have power ups, traditional power ups. But then Mario 3, you have like the hammer suit, the frog suit, Tanuki, the raccoon suit, the Fire Flower, obviously. Just like there's a lot of cool things. The weird boot. They just kept throwing like cool stuff. There's like one level with that also.
I think about it though.
Yeah. Yeah, like swimming with a frog suit's super fun because, most of the time swimming is like doot 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 doot, like that. But frog suit, you're just like just zooming around. Makes those levels like a whole different game almost. Cool secrets. The white, standing on the white block and like holding it to go behind the level is always super cool. Y'all have played Celeste, right?
Mm-mm.
Like
I
Celeste. You haven't played
I
Celeste?
watched like stuff of it, but I never played it.
I've played like the first
Craig, I feel
couple
like- I feel
stages,
like-
but I've never beaten it.
Why do I feel like Craig played Celeste? I feel like I had a conversation. Maybe it was a dream I talked to you about Celeste. Anyway,
Oh, I'm in your dreams. That's sweet.
I think so. There's a part in Celeste where you go kind of off the beaten path, and there's a white block that looks like it's from Mario 3. And you're like, wait a second. If I hold down on this, will I go behind the level? And sure enough, you do go into the background of the level. It's a pretty cool Mario 3 Easter egg. But yeah, it's just really cool game. I wasn't around for its release, but I've heard stories of people like going to the movie The Wizard because they showed Mario 3 in this movie before like a regular commercial, which is like hilarious to think about.
So funny.
But yeah, Craig, what about you?
Some genius advertising. No, yeah, you guys pretty much covered it. Just fantastic level design, fantastic music. The power up selection is very fun and unique. The Tanuki suit is just super duper fun. The frog suit is super duper fun. I love the stupid boot. Like I said, for some reason, just love that stupid boot. I remember there's just a lot of really creative, interesting levels, like the big kind of small world thing where like all the blocks and enemies are huge and you're still tiny. So a lot of just like weird, quirky little levels like that. I also always have really liked the color palette of this game. It's very different than any other NES game, where it's like kind of like the like kind of neutral color of everything isn't black or white, it's tan. And for something about that, it just gives everything a very like warm, like almost like this is like a fall game. Like you want to play this during the fall because it has like kind of like a lot of greens and browns and dark reds. Like I love the dark shade of red that Mario has in this game. So aesthetically, it's just one of the best NES games as well. I love how this game looks and how it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But it's just fantastic time. Also very replayable. I've never done any of the level skip stuff in this one. I just never felt the need to because every level is a joy. I do think it's fun that the flute though does like a song that ended up being a song in Zelda. I can't remember which one, but it is. I think it's like Zelda's Lullaby or something like that, isn't it? I don't know, but
Sounds familiar.
It is, but yeah, it's just a grand old time. Definitely the most enjoyable Mario experience. But I will say, Mario 2 is definitely underrated. Super Mario Bros. 2 is still a very good game in his own right. So, but yeah, so I guess. If you guys have any other honorable mentions you want to talk about, I know I kind of mentioned mine already, or if you have any more thoughts on Mario 3.
More quick thought on Mario 3.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Bowser in the first game was just like dinosaur at the end of a castle. In Mario 3, they gave him a little bit more character. This man has like a flying armada and like tanks for some reason, and that's kind of like
I
it's
like the
gone.
final boss with him too. Of him, you kind of like have to make him kill himself. It's kind of just a fun little
Yep.
gimmicky, easy fight, but it's an enjoyable romp.
Yep, and then this also introduced the Koopalings, or maybe is it the Koopalings or just the Boom Booms? I can't remember. Yeah, and you get like the wands, which is always fun to grab the wands and fall from the sky with them.
I know you never want to let it hit the floor. I feel like you might as well start over if it hits the floor.
In Nintendo World Championships, all the Mario 3 levels, the ones that would end with a boss, you had to like catch the one at the top, like the peak pixel. You had to like time it perfectly, but you had to really get to know the timing because obviously you can't see it falling down.
Yeah.
You have to just know when to jump to grab at the very height of the jump. I got pretty good at that, but
That's
sometimes
funny.
you'd miss. You're like, God damn it! Like you like miss it and catch on the way down.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah,
Tyler,
great game.
honorable mentions you want to mention?
One that I enjoy playing, but I never actually beat it. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That's always a fun game to play.
Yeah, that's another skill check for me. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it. I don't have it
Yeah.
in me.
Maybe one day I'll try it, but rough.
I had the same thing for mine.
Well.
I'm just not good enough to play that game. Like I want to be good at that game. I'm just not good enough to play that game.
Yeah. Even Glass Joe, I'm just like, this timing doesn't compute in my brain.
Yeah. Balloon Fight. I wasn't joking. I actually kind of got some sick, twisted perversion out of like parts of Balloon Fight.
Perversion.
I
Tanuki
don't
Mario
think
gets
it's
you going, you got a perversion. This man's got an 8-bit fetish.
I think they should remake. They should make a new Balloon Fight sequel. That's what we should really putting our cash into on the Switch 2 is a new Balloon Fight.
Balloon Fight 99.
Ooh, that would hit so hard. Balloon Fight 99 would be so good.
They can make it happen. That would definitely be a doable one. No more honorable mentions,
Mario
Tyler?
1.
That's your only one?
I mean, Metroid's good. That's a good NES game. What else do I like playing? I don't have much on NES. Like, honestly.
Tyler mentioned every NES game he's ever played in his top 5.
Well, I played some others, but like I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, this game.
Just
Like, oh yeah, Tetris. Play Tetris. Like,
hell
you
yeah.
know.
Shout out to the hidden gem Tetris on the NES.
Exactly. Everybody got to play Tetris, and then I never played the Zeldas on the freaking NES. I never played a Kirby game yet, so that's something I got to get to one day.
You should try out Kirby 64. I hear it's pretty good.
Don't make that your first one.
It was my first one. I turned out fine.
I mean, if it's my first one, then it might set the bar pretty
Low.
yeah, pretty low. So the next
Or
one I
he'll
play
play
just
it in every other game after. He's
well.
like, damn, that wasn't as good as Kirby 64. You'll be like, that was good, but it was no crystal shards.
What a sad reality that would be.
I
Any
played a
other
bit of Mega
honorable
Man.
mentions, Zach?
Mega Man's hard as shit.
Yeah, Mega
I
Man's
never
are hard,
played it, so I'm not gonna.
but they are great.
Yes, I had 5 honorable mentions. Punch Out, Tyler mentioned it. I'm just not good enough for that game. Mario 1 and 2, I really like both those games. And like you said, Craig, 2 is underrated. It's a really 2 USA, that is. I don't fuck Lost Levels. They can have that one.
Yeah.
But 2 USA is a great game. Balloon Fight, and then the last one Tyler also mentioned, Metroid. Metroid I have on there, like, I don't think the original Metroid's fun to go back to and play, especially with Zero Mission existing.
Mm-hmm.
But just its existence, like, is pretty important for like both Super Metroid and the Nintendo Metroid games and like the whole genre of search action games. But
Good old search action game.
that's what they all call it, right? The search action games.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mentioned all mine, so no need to retrek, but I will repeat once again. Play Tom Sawyer, play Little Mermaid, play Panic Restaurant. We have a couple of write-ins. let's go ahead. I'll go first, then Tyler, then Zach. What are you writing? Okay. Jonathan wrote in, said, "Hey, what's up, guys? My favorite NES games are Mega Man 3. He spelled it MEAG, so it's Mega Man 3. DuckTales, Super Mario Bros. 3, Blaster Master Case in Castlevania.
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 Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
DuckTales is definitely one I forget about a lot. People absolutely adore that game. I've booted it up before, but I've never really actually given it the time of day. Has really good music, though, I can tell you that much. Banging soundtrack on the NES. There's a lot of really good NES soundtracks, too. I feel like we could do a whole episode just talk about weird NES soundtracks. But yeah, good list. Mega Man 3 was my least favorite so far of the 3 NES Mega Man games I've played. So, but that also might be a skill check thing. That game was just really difficult at the end.
DuckTales just reminds me quickly. We didn't talk about Duck Hunt, but the fact that the Duck Hunt zapper exists, I bet that blew people's minds. Like back in the 80s, a freaking thing to point at your screen and shoot that kind of works.
That was really cool. It's a shame that game is so hard to play now, because if you do it on a modern TV, it just doesn't work. So it's like you need to have a CRT. But
I watched a YouTube short, and I don't know if someone's gaslighting me, but the way light guns work is it registers a hit if it shoots at like the white, like the way Duck Hunt works is the duck will turn white on a frame, and when you shoot, and if it like hits the white, it registers as killing it.
Oh, weird.
But so what the guy was showing, and like I said, I've not tested this. I don't have a zapper. He might be gaslighting me. He was just shooting the zapper at an off-screen white light,
And it
like
hit
just
everyone.
spamming it, and it was hitting everyone. It was killing them all
Dude,
instantly.
Duck Hunt speedrunning must go fucking crazy.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. I'm gonna look that up.
That's awesome.
But
All
yeah.
right, Tyler, want to go ahead and read the next write-in, please?
All right, this is Patrick. My favorite NES game might be a surprise to some, but it is Super Techno Bowl. Growing up, I became a diehard fan of the San Francisco 49ers, and during the 80s, they were the team to beat. In Super Techno Bowl, they were even harder. I spent countless hours trying to have undefeated, scoreless seasons where I would not let opposing teams score, and I'm happy to say it happened once. There was something magical about a fully licensed game like that back then. Other favorites include Super Mario Bros. 3, Double Dragon 1 and 2, TMNT the arcade game, fuck that first TMNT game and its impossible levels, and MLB Baseball. That one was because that was the only game me and my dad could bond over. He wasn't a fan of me gaming, but he liked that one, and we always had a fun time playing each other. Nice. Yep, I agree. Arcade game, better than the first one. Double Dragon, I never really played.
Me
I
neither.
can't...
Not familiar with that series. Let's see.
And then Super Mario Bros. 3 is it's probably number one on our top however many number NES games we got.
Alright, so real quick, I need to share this with you guys. Because every time I think about this, it makes me very happy. I thought it was an NES game, but it's a Super Nintendo game. Do you guys know about the fake American names they made up for this weird baseball game? Have you guys ever heard about this?
I don't think so.
So this is for a Super Nintendo baseball game. I thought it was an NES baseball game, but here's some of the American names that this Japanese team decided to make up for a bunch of fake American baseball players. We got Willie Dustis, Jerome Grid, Shone Furcoat,
Jerome Grid.
Mike Truck, Dwight Roturgle,
Turtle.
Todd Gonzalez, Anatoly Smorin, Ray McScriff, Mara McRylan, and the list goes on. So I just wanted to share with you guys. That's one of my favorite things ever. Is this this list of fake American names that a Japanese game dev team came up with?
That's pretty cool.
I think about it a lot. I thought it was an NES game all the time, but it was a Super Nintendo game. But I still wanted to bring it up because it just brings me a lot of joy. But No, yeah. I want to check out Double Dragon because I've been told that they're some of the more fun beat 'em up games for sure. It's just very hard for me to love a beat 'em up. There's not that many of them out there that I like too much. So,
I mean, Golden Axe is top tier, but
Golden Axe sweeps.
Really sells the genre there.
yeah.
All right. Zach, want to go ahead and read the last write-in before we go over the definitive top 11 NES games of all time?
Will do. From Jason. Hello there, fellow gamers. Jason here to give you some of my favorite NES games in no particular order. Shadowgate, Darkwing Duck, Super Mario Bros. 3, Blaster Master, Castlevania 1, Castlevania 3, Batman, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Final Fantasy, the entire Dragon Warrior series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project, and last but not least, all of the Mega Man games. I hope you take some of these games into consideration and play some for the show, as I'd like to see you play some older games in the future. Oh, and one can't forget, even though it's not even an official licensed game from Nintendo, but how can a demake of Final Fantasy VII be a better game than the remake that came out in modern systems? Well, that's some of my favorite NES games. Sorry, fellas, no essay this time. Maybe next episode.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen the NES remake of Final Fantasy VII? It is super cool.
I've seen it, yeah.
I'm about to now.
It's incredibly impressive. I've actually always wanted to play through it. I think it'd be super cool to do.
Can I get this on my pocket?
Yeah. It's really
Might
neat.
have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard good things about Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers as well. I always forget about that. And two things I didn't mention. I don't remember if I said this before the show or while we were recording, but Final Fantasy 1 and Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest 1, those games would have actually probably topped my list at number 3 and number 2 respectively. But for Dragon Warrior, I played the iOS version, which, as far as I know, is pretty much the exact same game, but with different graphics. But I didn't know if I felt right counting it, since I hadn't played the actual NES version. And Final Fantasy 1, as much as I love that game, I do not love the NES version. I love the remakes that have come out for it. You know, I enjoyed what I played the PSP one, the iOS version I played back in the day, the Pixel remaster, stuff like that. It's the fact that in the original Final Fantasy, if you attack an enemy and you kill it, you don't just auto-attack the other enemy, you just attack the air and you waste a turn, is so infuriating, and I can't handle that for a whole 40 hours. That absolutely that's what holds me back from ever playing that version of the game, is I'm like, that is way too obnoxious. So
that is fixed in the Pixel remaster?
I'm sorry?
That's fixed in the Pixel remaster?
Yeah, Pixel remaster doesn't do that, so
okay.
We're good.
Okay.
But yeah, so shout out to Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy. Really, really enjoyed my experience with those games. Just don't have too much. I can't say the same for the NES versions, but I think I would enjoy the original Dragon Quest on NES. Because it pretty much is, from what I've done research-wise, it is the exact same as the iOS version. The only difference is the graphics, and like, they give you more experience and more money per battle, so it's just grindier. But I'd be okay with that, honestly.
Yeah, I'm about to say something I never thought I'd say out loud. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to go download that Final Fantasy VII demake right now. I just checked if I had the NES emulator in my pocket, and I do.
Nice.
I had DuckTales open last time.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
So yeah, I'm going to get that Final Fantasy VII demake loaded on this and try it out tonight.
Good shit.
And then I can make the true definitive that's better than the remake.
There you go. Alright, so here it is. This is the definitive top 11 NES games of all time. Number 11, Contra. Tied, but above it because I said so, at number 10, Little Mermaid. Next up, the original Super Mario Bros. At number 9. Tied with, tied it, but above it because I said so, at number 8, Tom Sawyer. Then we have
Tom Sawyer, famously better than Mario 1.
Goddamn right. Then next up, number 7, we have the original Fire Emblem. At number 6, tied with 3 points as well, the original Castlevania. Then at number 5, we have Zelda 1, tied At number 4, same amount of points, TMNT Arcade. And here's where we actually have some differences, whatever. Number 3, Kirby's Adventure with 5 total points. Number 2, Earthbound Beginnings with 6 total points. And number 1 with a whopping 14 points is Mario 3.
If we ever make merch, we got to make these lists into shirts.
That'd be funny. But I know Tom Sawyer and Little Mermaid will be on there. That's excellent.
Craig, I was just gonna say, can you please start making shorts and release them like a week after the episode of our lists, and just do a countdown of the best NES games and have Tom Sawyer above Super Mario Brothers, and just see what happens?
Well, you know what? I stand by that. Tom Sawyer is a better game.
No, that's fine. That's great.
Mario
I want you to
Bros.
put that information. I want you to put that information on the internet.
See how people react.
Short form content, and see what people say.
That would be a good one. I might need to do that. Well, I'm pretty happy with this list. I can't lie to you guys. I think it's a good list.
I am too.
It's not as chaotic as our PS2 list, which is good. So
PS2 list went all over the fucking place.
PS2 list was absolutely fucking
And we have a
useless.
3-way tie for number and a 3-way tie.
And never forget that Zach's favorite PS2 game he has never actually played on the PS2.
I can play any games in the PS2.
Dude, if
I've never played a PS2 other than Guitar Hero 2.
like as a gag, if we ever do these as shirts, for the top 15 PS2 games, right? We got to have all 15 just simply labeled, and then a picture of SSX Tricky on the GameCube, on the shirt.
That'd be
Even though
good.
this is top 15 PS2 games, just have that there.
That'd be good.
That's your homework, Craig. Before next episode, you need to start making shorts for every list we've done, and you need to do a top 15 PS2 short and read them in order from 15 to 1.
And all of a sudden we start losing subscribers.
The number 1 PS2 game is the GameCube version of SSX Tricky.
Either that, or we're gonna start getting a lot of comments that just these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, if this show ever finds real success, I cannot imagine the amount of vitriolic hate we'll get for some of our opinions. We're kind of the worst. Right now we have a small, solid 80 to 100 listens to episode, which of course we love you all, we appreciate you all, and you're all very nice. So we'll take it.
If this gets out in the public, we're going to be slandered big time.
Pretty much. Nobody will respect us, and you know what? I'm okay with it because I stand by my terrible opinions. Gen 3, worst starter selection. There it is. Well, that was a good one, boys. I enjoyed that episode.
Yep.
We all need to make sure we do our homework, and you guys out there do too. Play Mario 64. Write in about your opinion. Let us know how you feel about it. Tyler's going to play Mario 64 for the first time. He's never played it. Whole new world for him.
Yeah, never played a whole new world. First time ever playing this game.
Zach, goodbye to you.
Can I do that trick where I could just skip and go right to
Tyler,
Bowser?
he was telling me goodbye.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was really
well,
fucking
sorry.
rude, actually.
Well, I'm sorry.
I know I interrupt the hell out of y'all every episode, but
Yeah,
this
so
is different.
No, this is not different. Okay.
This is meaningful. He's telling me goodbye.
Okay. Well, maybe I don't want to leave you yet. Maybe that's why. We're extending this episode. We already been going for
It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I'm fucking
roughly.
tired, Tyler.
It's 2 a.m. here. How do you think I feel? But anyway, before we say our goodbyes,
Yes.
ain't there a skip I could do in Mario 64 that I could just go right to Bowser? Because apparently that counts me as beating a game. So, if I could skip it, I'll do that.
Sorry, did you say something? I didn't hear you.
I said have a great night, Zach.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Tyler.
Zach, good night to you. Goodbye. This was nice talking to you. Any fun plans this weekend? Or the rest of your weekend?
I would love to say that tomorrow I'm going to kick all sorts of ass, and I'm going to finish Clair Obscure and Avowed and Blueprints. So
all on
we'll
the same
see.
day.
We'll see how tomorrow goes.
There you go. Tyler, goodbye to you. Any plans on your nice Sunday?
No, not really. Maybe edit a video. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna. I would have to get away from Clair Obscur, and I kind of really want to dive deep in that game. So I don't know.
Valid.
Maybe.
Yeah, tomorrow I know we're going to Olive Garden for Mother's Day, so that'll be a good time.
Olive Garden is Patrick's favorite restaurant.
Dude, you know what? There's nothing better than just unlimited breadsticks, and that's it. Because when I go, I usually don't actually order anything. I just get breadsticks, which are free in my soda. So.
Are you
Y'all
serious?
get the super salads?
What about the super salads?
Y'all get the super salad?
No,
the really big super
No,
salad?
I literally just my wife, she'll order whatever pasta she wants, and I just eat the breadsticks the whole time, and I'm satisfied. That's all I need.
I've heard legend of the super salad.
They're delicious and they're free. I'm a cheap ass.
The waitress don't question you at all. You're just like, nah, I'm just gonna have soda.
I'm just here hanging out, along for the ride at Olive Garden. You know what? It's not worth $25 for a dish of pasta that they probably just put in their microwave. If we're being honest,
the one time they had like, all you can eat, like you know how they do all you can eat pasta, but the one time they had all you can eat chicken parm.
Ooh.
Holy shit, dude! I was there, dude. I felt terrible. It was Valentine's Day. I was there with my girlfriend, and I probably had 6 servings of chicken parm. Bro, I was going because it was just the chicken. You didn't get more pasta, right? And then so they were just bringing the chicken, and I was cutting it. Like, of course, like you start off with a big piece, and then they just start giving you like little ones. But like, I ate it, and then the guy came over, and he was like, "How you feeling?" I was like, "Give me another one, right?" And I ate it, and this is also when Jonathan was working at Olive Garden. I remember I was there. My girlfriend was done eating like after half an hour, dude. Like 2 hours. 2 hours went by, and Jonathan came out to like see if I was still there. He's like, "You're still here?" I was like, "Bro, it's all I can eat chicken parm.
Get your money's
fucking
worth.
Love chicken parm. Do you fucking see me? Like,
get your money's worth."
Sick, insane person allows all you can eat chicken parm to be a thing.
Well, I'm probably why they stopped it. Like, they haven't had it since.
It's like we should give the people as much chicken parm as they can eat.
Bro, parm is good. It's like one of my favorite foods.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just like I feel like
it's
that's
very
recipe for
dangerous.
disaster.
The one time they had like a special. It wasn't all you can eat, but it was like a big chicken parm. Dude, this thing was like this big. Like, that was good too. It wasn't 6 servings worth, but
I don't know if I've ever done all you could eat anything except for like a regular old buffet. So,
well, I mean, Olive Garden always has their pasta. Well, I mean, you get all you can eat breadsticks. I don't know what you're talking.
That's true. That's fair. I just always think about when I had unlimited pizza from Domino's for a while. I don't know if I ever told you guys about that.
What?
So they have this thing at Domino's. Why are you laughing? So they
bad at podcasting. This episode ended 10 minutes ago. We're still talking.
So
well, if they wanted to click off, they clicked off. They're getting a little bonus. This is like our Patreon exclusive content, but you don't have to pay for
post show. So, so Domino's has this thing where if you go there and you tell them that like, hey, I ordered my pizza online. I want you to bring it to my car. So you just pull up. They bring the pizza out to your car. They have a thing where if they don't bring the pizza out to you within 60 seconds, you get a free pizza. Well, they were late like 7, 8, 9 times in a row, so we just kept
parking really far away.
No, we just get.
Yeah, I'm across the street in the other parking lot.
No,
I'm here though.
I would park right in front of the Domino's. I wasn't even being a dick about it. They just happened to being late, so we got free pizza, and we didn't pay for pizza for like 2 months. It was incredible. And then one time I pulled up, and like as soon as I hit the button that said I'm here, the person walked out like fucking clockwork. He was like, "We're not letting this fucking Craig guy get us again."
The one day
Craig
Craig was
photo
like,
of me in my car posted inside the Domino's because they're tired of giving me free pizzas.
the one day Craig and Anna were like, "Damn, we ain't got money to spend." She was like, "I don't know what we could do for dinner." He's like, "You know what? Let's just go to Domino's. We know we're gonna get it for free." Pull up, pulls right out. Fuck.
Dude, it was the best. We did not pay for pizza for like 2 months. It was the best. It was like we had like a real life pizza glitch. It was incredible.
Do they still do that?
I don't know, but every time we order Domino's, we do it just in case, and they haven't fucked up in a long time. It makes me very sad because we were getting free
You're the
pizzas for a
reason.
while. It was incredible.
They were
yeah,
like, "Oh, we're losing money."
dude, I
This
guarantee
guy.
you, they were probably getting in trouble by their managers. Like they're like, this fat motherfucker keeps coming here, and you guys are giving him free pizzas.
Imagine him coming out to bring the pizza and y'all like reversing the car a little bit, like trying to get away from him.
Oh, it's like the it's like the episode of SpongeBob where he's like trying to get on the bus in rock bottom. He's like,
To be fair, 60 seconds is not a lot of reaction time for the poor Domino's employees. They have to run it out to you.
you got to do it at like peak hour, bro. Like, or call the Domino's beforehand. Hi, are you short staffed today?
They're ringing a bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Like red lights, Craig's here. Like,
Get
I like to imagine
outside now!
I have like a wanted poster inside of my local Domino's.
Do not serve this man.
Fuck,
you know
dude.
who could get the pizza out to you really fast?
Who?
Grumpy.
He made a Domino's delivery task. Anyway, this has been Generations Behind, top 5 NES games. We need to stop this before we keep going for another 30 minutes about not video games. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this, make sure you share it with your friend, your coworker, your grandma. I'm sure they'd all enjoy it. And we're going to be talking about Mario 64 next time. Please join us, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Take care.